Hello, and welcome to another episode of Varinheim. Before we get started, like I always do, I want to do a quick shout out to our sponsor, D&D Beyond, an online digital tool set for DMs and players alike to keep track of their characters, their NPCs, their equipment, and more importantly, I would say their hit points. If you need anything regarding D&D and keeping track of things, I recommend D&D Beyond. Now, last week, our players decided to figure out what was going on in the town of Colden. First, they went to the church that was located there, followed by giving a visit to a Mr. Jonathan Tiller, where Saphira and Emerald started exploring the house while others were keeping Mr. Tiller somewhat distracted. Eventually, when confronted by Tanithil and a stalker, Jonathan Tiller attacked with two carnivorous plants to a certain extent, which they were able to quickly dispatch, and that is where we ended last week. So let's bring them in. Hi, guys.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. So, anyway, you guys just got done fighting the two carnivorous plants that Jonathan Tiller sicked on you guys. Apparently, after being kind of how should I say confronted about his involvement regarding what's going on in the town of Colden.
Yes, Jonathan's currently unconscious.
Yes.
And I think someone put him on the couch right next to us.
I did.
Yeah,
I
Cricket
laid
did.
him on the couch.
Trail, does Saphira recognize the plant stalker, recognize the plant creatures at all?
Roll a nature.
Okey-doke.
No
Oh,
plant.
that's not super great, but let's see what it is. 15.
15.
Mm-hmm.
You know that the actual base plant is just a kind of a regular fern that you can find in the woods, especially near the one near the kingdom that you guys are in. But the plant itself is more of possibly not an enchantment, I would say. I won't say it's
not a
conjuration.
creature. It's not a creature that
it's a
was
spell.
already like this. It was modified by the spell.
Right.
Okay.
Modified by a spell. Yes. Which Jonathan Tiller just knocked out on the couch, spread out. The two plants are on the ground. Just one has been completely ripped apart by Stalker, and then if I'm not mistaken, the other one was pretty much burnt to a crisp by Fida.
I think so.
Accurate.
Yeah.
That sounds accurate. I just yelled at them until they died.
Panthel's just kind of standing right at the foot of the couch, just staring down at Tiller, just kind of giving a deep breath and everything, and just I think that explains quite a bit, or at least answers a few things.
Nothing that wasn't a surprise already. Saphira's going to call back as she walks over to the couch.
Why attack? Mad?
Possibly doesn't want to be revealed. Could be
Most likely.
Could be any number of things. Wise guy's already out with the boons and the
Nope, those
gifting
are
subs.
Bains and bains and boots and bains.
Leo has a boon, by the way.
Huh?
the
Leo
Oprah
has
of
boon.
subs.
But this is Noah. Noah.
Leo deserved one too. Leo's been
Oh, there
left
was
out.
a
Did
Oh,
we
I read that as
tie-
opera, like fan of the opera. The opera of the subs.
Yes.
Wow.
Sing us the subs, wise guy.
Did we tie up Jonathan, or did they just knock him
We,
out?
if I
not
remember correctly, we
unconscious.
did not. But you were sitting on his legs.
Yeah,
Yeah, because we just got out of combat, so.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. You guys
We should
just got out of
probably do
combat.
that before he wakes up.
Mm-hmm. I suggest we
Shadowfell's-
tie up his hands and make sure he can't do any more casting or bringing anything else to life to attack us.
Question is, did he actually bring them to life, or were they already like that?
Mm,
They weren't.
we can ask him when his hands are firmly secured, then he wakes up.
They're just normal plants. It was something he did. Trust me,
So-
I've seen many plants that are vicious. Those were normal.
Okay.
Okay then. Well,
Cricket's
it's
gonna
just-
walk a little bit more to the north and kind of face away and mimic the sound of her stomach being upset, like the
Okay.
and say, bathroom again. Sorry. And
All right, Cricket, be
run
careful.
back in the direction where that room full of books is.
The room that you go into is like I described last time. There's like a pentagram on the ground. There's a couple of pillars around it, and then on the wall that kind of like wraps completely around the room, there's like a shelf of books, and it's just filled with information regarding like different planes of existence of the world, history of the Ashland Kingdom, the Aramore Kingdom, Kolvik, Romorian Empire, Lylanor. Like the books are just all over the place when it comes to information.
She's gonna take a I guess a deeper look
Okay.
into spirits, anything that talks about Shiva or anything that could be the opposite. And the Shadowfell.
Roll. I'm gonna have you roll a perception. But if I'm not mistaken, you do have a boon, right, from last week?
Oh gosh, that reminds me. I just need to pull up that table.
Yeah, we might as well pull up those
Your
tables.
next saving throw.
I have a shortcut for it.
Wise guy's like, you need one.
No, I'm good.
Nothing that would affect a check.
Okay, no, I'm good. But I'll be okay. I'm pretty good with my. Oh,
Yeah,
thank
you
you.
Kevin's got a boon.
Oh, well, I gotta roll to see if it what it is though. I got 19. Aw, the eventual next
19.
death saving throw. That's okay. If I die, I'll be okay. Thank you, though.
So,
Perception
as
check.
you're like,
Natural 20, 25. It's okay. I
I need
got it.
advantage on that.
you didn't need advantage.
It's a cat face for my. It's a cat face for my natural. It's a cat face for my natural 20. I'm sorry, I tried.
It came through enough.
As you're kind of like scanning through the books and everything, you take your time.
Okay.
You find 2 books that is related to what you are looking for. One is talks about the daughters of Valdis, and as like you're kind of like skimming through real quick, it mentions both Morgana and Shiva. Valdis is the goddess of death, and
God.
Morgana. And as you're like kind of like skimming through the book real quick, it mentions that Morgana and Shiva are both spirits of hers. There's more information to that. I'll give you more later on that.
Just trying to.
Kevin's taking notes. She's like, "Grr."
I keep spelling everything wrong.
That's fine.
As long as you know what it is, you're good.
Right, like
Guys, I'm trying to make it that way, but my God. Okay,
then
and the other one.
second book is a list of creatures from the Shadowfell.
Beautiful.
It's if I'm not mistaken, it has 5 to be exact. creatures with in-depth like descriptions and histories about said creatures, like weaknesses, strengths, where they come from.
Yep. I'll take those two. And I know in the previous session I found books based off like old rituals, like and stuff like that.
Yeah, if I'm not
Temples.
mistaken, it's like old rituals and temples of. I don't think it was
Yeah.
the Shadowfell though, right?
No, I grabbed the Shadowfell one and I took that. But there was other book that I found in that bedroom. Where the heck do I know it's, and I'm going because I brought that in the room too, but I only took the Shadowfell one. I'm gonna go and grab those and put all those in my backpack.
Alrighty. As like you're kind of like, I would naturally assume like you're just kind of like grabbing these books and skimming them, like you're not sitting
Yeah.
them on the floor, cross-legged, like reading.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
So
Table
as like you're
contents.
doing this, yeah, Jonathan Tiller is waking up and he's just like, I
Well,
feel like I've made a mistake.
While she's in there, we've
Okay.
been binding him.
Yeah, I figured.
Probably gagged him. Saphira's, after gagging him, asking the other three, can you handle him alone?
Where do you
Ethel
plan
just
on
like,
going?
I'm just going to get that crystal.
Do you know how to get through the door? That
I know
He
how to
keeps
break
it.
down a door.
I know how to get through the door without breaking
Would you like to come with me?
it.
While you are going up there, can you take a look and see if you can find that book that he had showed me?
I feel
that a-
like questions might be a good place to start. And, you know, I don't see them being much of a issue to talk with for a bit. They should be waking up soon. We can always go upstairs as a group.
I
I'm sure
just wanted the
Saphira
crystal for the
could
conversation.
easily carry them with us.
Oh, yes.
so I take it y'all are leaving Jonathan gagged and bound on a couch.
Perhaps
As-
we... No, we're not
Why
leaving
don't we
him
carry
anywhere.
him with us if we go upstairs?
Well, I only wanted to grab the crystal for the conversation. We can grab it afterward if desired, but I'd rather not take him anywhere other than this room that might have more magical devices for him to use.
Mm-hmm.
He's already
fair.
shown hostile intent once.
This person was actually cast detect magic on this place.
I think I already used it today.
I don't.
I
think you
don't have
did.
it.
Yeah, I used it real early in the day on this day when we met Daniel.
Gotcha. Not inside
Yep.
here.
Yeah, because I think
The
I
only one
tried.
who
I
would
think I
be
went to
able
use
to,
it
I
in the
think-
mansion last session, and then realized it was still on cooldown.
Gotcha.
Is that a ritual you're familiar with, Tanithil?
Am I not a wizard? He just smiles. And just kind of like instantly like kind of like takes his hand, just kind of like does a cast over, and like you just see like his eyes just kind of like go from just being all kind of like calm, relaxed, to just he just turns to Emerald and just goes, everything is glowing.
Lovely.
Like he just starts like pointing to things inside the house, like the lanterns are like on the wall, like they're glowing. The rug that's like off to y'all's like right, like just away from the couch, is also like giving off an aura. The suits of armor, two of them have got an aura to them. He's like you can just see him like looking down towards where the staircase is. These stairs actually have an aura as well.
Well, should we move this to whatever that room upstairs is? Because by the sound of it, everything here is magical.
That's not
Or we get what we need and we take him somewhere else.
I mean, we can take him outside. That's not a big deal.
That's not an issue at all. So we can honestly just go upstairs, get the item that we need, or at least at this point, what we expect is possibly the problem, and then take him outside and be in a less precarious situation. Because we still have to ask the man questions.
Is he starting to wake up yet?
He's groggy and starting to, yes.
Cricket?
He looks like he's coming to. We could just do it right here. Not worry about it.
She
If he
will be
does
coming
anything
out.
funny, I'll smash his head in the wall.
Cricket will be coming out and then be like, "Hello, look at this room."
Hang on, Cricket. He's coming too.
I'm coming too. She she walks over.
As like she's like coming up, like he's still just kind of like groggy and just like he just kind of like looks at you with a gag in his mouth, like
We're gonna
Well-
pull that out and you're gonna answer some questions. If you do anything that sounds like an incantation, I'm
We'll
going to
replace
smash your
it
head
with-
into the wall.
After
It's
we
not gonna feel
replace the
good.
gag with one of Stalker's socks.
I kick
Don't
head.
wear socks. Socks.
Then they've never been clean.
and it feels like as like you say this, you just like he's gonna like come put his hand on Saphira.
Sock.
Stop her.
She punches the wall. Sock.
Not quite that
well,
sock.
kind of.
For feet.
Let's try this a different way.
I hate like
You invited us into your home to discuss items, and then decided to attack us when we asked about the town. We did not come here with any ill intent, but now consider us concerned. We have some questions, and I think you're going to do your best to answer them, or there may be further complications.
I take it the gag is still in his mouth, right?
At the
Yes.
moment.
Like Tanthil's gonna like actually like kind of like put his hand on Jonathan's mouth, and he's just gonna say, "I just want to forewarn y'all that the phrase that he even used to actually get the plants to attack us wasn't even a proper incantation. It was just a command. I just want y'all to
Goody.
know that."
Well,
I mean-
Jonathan,
So
we have some questions for you, but it seems this is probably not the best place to have them. So, Cricket,
Oh,
he's out cold again, I guess? Is that what I'm getting?
Use your karate chop action.
yeah, I go. You know, like the whole. Yeah.
You know what? Roll an unarmed strike.
How are you doing that?
I have a plus.
Rolls 2 1s.
That's a plus 7. 18?
Okay, he's knocked out. I was just like, what are the odds that she rolls 2 1s?
No.
well,
So yes.
Clocks him in the throat instead on accident.
Right.
Cricket,
Yes.
would you mind keeping an eye on him, make sure he's asleep until we're ready to move?
Aye aye. She poofs up.
Tanthil just is like, I'm going to stay here with.
Following Tanathil's advice, make sure that gag stays in. We have a room to go look at. Tanathil, well, I don't know the duration you can see magical items for, but I feel like you would be helpful upstairs finding that stone.
If it's anything like mine, he can see for 10 minutes.
I've got a few minutes to spare. And
If
you just-
like, I can stay down here with him and make sure he doesn't go anywhere. But can you take a look and see if you can find that book that he brought down before?
I don't
to
know
the
if it's
problem.
in the same room, but we'll see what we can find.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I think the book that you're referring to there, Fida,
Big one.
is...
It was some
Uh,
gods, goddesses, spirits, everything. It was a fairly large book.
Yeah, downstairs in the same room that Gibbon was in. Which, Gibbon, I would say you actually would have
Loaded.
saw... Gibbon, I think you would have actually saw that book, so would you have grabbed it?
Oh yes.
Okay. She's got it.
I
Perfect.
Okay. So if you two are staying to watch him, the rest of you want to head upstairs and see if we can find that stone?
Sure.
I'm all for
gods,
it.
goddesses, and spirits.
Okay. I will take Tanithil and Stalker upstairs and, using my memory, do the knocks and whatever vocal part they used to get into that door.
Okay. So, like, as, like, you kind of, like, do the knocks and vocals to get inside. That's, like, you open it, like... You guys instantly see a room filled with amulets, medallions, bracelets, necklaces, hell, the occasional crown from possibly a lost empire, a lost kingdom. You're seeing sabatons and gauntlets, swords, bows, just all throughout this room. You're also finding books and vials that have got a magical aura to them. In the far end of the room, you see 3 items that are very distinct. One is of that heartstone that he had shown earlier. Another is of an orb that has a pinkish, red, and purple aura just swirling about. And it's just sitting off and kind of like to the side. In the middle is the heartstone. And then off to the left is a staff. It's black with inscription just kind of like written all over it. With a jewel at the top that's rather distinguishable. It's not one that y'all recognize. As like this door opens, like Tanithil's face is just kid in a candy store. Everything's just lighting up like Christmas.
So,
Hand
Tanithil,
on shoulder.
what do your elf eyes see?
Exactly what Saphira's about to ask with her hand on his shoulder.
Everything.
How dangerous is this room, Tanithil?
Dangerous, or just from the sheer amount of stuff in here?
Remember, we're not here to rob this man.
I'm not robbing. I'm just saying there's a lot of history.
Just you're drooling.
Tanithil, I believe you know as well as I do how dangerous touching random magical things can be.
Agreed.
I know you're excited, but keep in mind what you know.
Take a minute.
Predominantly, what can you tell us about those 3 items?
They're all 3 magical. I can tell you that right now. If I'm not mistaken, he was holding the Heartstone, correct?
He wasn't holding anything yet. We haven't
He-
actually walked in. We just
He
opened the
showed
door.
me the Heartstone.
Was he holding it in his palm with no gloves or no protection?
Oh, you mean
When
Never.
he showed it to me, DM,
Yes.
was he wearing gloves?
No.
Okay. Because I don't recall if that was said or not last week, so no.
Was the guy's hands wearing somebody else's skin, so it looks like he's not wearing gloves, but it's different
Oh.
skin.
Spleen
that's
isn't
the case-
here this week.
Like,
We're also
like
not in the
as
room.
like you say this, Tanthil just kind of like looks down at the ground, just kind of like looks all over on the floor, and you just see him like carefully like stepping through the room, making sure not to like touch or
Yeah,
hit
so there's
anything,
plum.
and then just carefully grabs the heart stone and then just kind of like backs away, and he's like, "I think we'll be fine. I think majority of things is probably out in the actual house as a barricade or a defense. I think we're good. But this is all we need, right?"
For the
That
moment.
is the item they said they won in a battle of wits, or at least that's what they called it.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious as to what he considers a battle of wits. Anyway, that being said, he just kind of like takes the heart stone, just like kind of like opens up his bag that he has and just kind of like slips it in.
Do you mind if I see?
Sure, he pulls it up and just hands it to you. It's orange with a reddish hue. It almost looks like a ball of kind of looks almost like a heart to a certain extent, but more along the lines of like almost like a ball of fire to a certain.
When I touch it, is there any reaction?
I would say that you get a cool, faint feeling. Like something almost otherworldly is on the other side. Like as if there is something like this item is a conduit for something and it tries to kind of connect. But you not being the most likely the owner, it can't. But you at least get that slight urge, like tickle up the back of your neck.
We should probably get out of here before he wakes back up.
And Tanthil's like, "I'll take that." And he just kind of like reaches for it and puts it in his bag. It's like, let's not tell him we have it. And kind of proceeds to go downstairs.
Sure. Back downstairs. Should we start heading towards this temple or these ruins that he was searching and just bring him with us? Start asking questions when he wakes up, and he won't have all of his toys to cause problems.
He did say it was on the eastern side of, or eastern part of the Ashland Kingdom near the river. It's only, what, 12 hours, day walk at least, at most?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not entirely against it. Question is who did he get this from?
And how do we get him out of town without carrying him through town? We can go get the cart, bring it here, put him in it, and then leave.
Was
You guys
his
still
home
in
in
the
the middle
room?
of town?
No, everyone's together.
Put them in
you
the
guys are back down
armor.
the stairs.
Put them in armor.
Was his home in the middle of town, or was it on
Far
the
end.
outskirts somewhere?
Far end of the town on the hill that's kind of like looks over everything.
But it's on one of the edges of town.
Yeah, honestly, you guys could just probably. I'm not gonna actually give you any ideas, but it's on the edge of town.
It was already getting fairly dark out, and we can just go around the town.
Like,
So proceed on foot.
As y'all say this, like, y'all hear just and his head starts turning. Cricket's like, fuck it. Roll an attack, Gibbon.
I just want to go for the one that goes here, the one that you press. And it's just
Pressure
like
point there.
Yes, ooh. See, I know the one where I can wake up people with this one, and it hurts. I use it for work. Okay.
Reminding
16?
me not have her ever wake me up from a procedure.
It hurts. It's supposed to make you uncomfortable. Wake up.
You know.
Probably also a good idea just not make her mad too.
That being said, knocks right back out. Just clunk.
Phone leaves. Room. By the way. She's
I guess Cricket's showing you the room there, Fida.
Which room?
I'll
The
take
book
over
room?
watching Jonathan then.
I'm gonna go with Cricket.
Yeah.
Tathel's gonna follow as well.
And I'm gonna lead him to the room. Look!
This is a lot of books.
What books?
I know. Water, sparkle, floor, symbol.
Okay, we can't take everything that we see.
I know.
That's not what.
We can find some key pieces of information we might need that could help us with some other things.
We can't just, how should I say, take everything, because let's be as in mid sentence, like you just see Tanthil just freeze and then just like slowly just like hands out walking towards part of the bookshelf. And like you just see his hands like kind of like grip onto a book and just begin pulling it out.
Harry Potter.
As you were
erotica.
saying.
And like he just kind of like, as like he kind of like pulls out, just kind of like looks at it. He's just like,
What did you find there?
spell book.
What I thought might be up here. He had to have found that book, pulled that book from somewhere that he showed me.
He just slowly puts it back. We can't take it. And he just kind of like walks off.
When he leaves the room, Cricket's going to take it.
If not, I am. Absolutely.
They both reach for it at the same time as soon as he's out of the room.
Leaves the room like he's not taking it.
Pete and I nod at each other.
To have picked up some sort of powers. I need to start figuring some of this out. So I think this would be a useful one for us to take with us.
Cricket taps Fita's arm and then opens her backpack and flashes the books.
Perfect.
By the way, looking through the spell book, you like there's like 7 spells in it. Just letting you know. Ranging from levels 1 to 3.
We're gonna take that. We're gonna stick it in a backpack.
They're just like, we'll give it to him later. He won't mind later.
Maybe
I'm
egg.
gonna do a quick search around, see if like there's anything else that is prominent on gods, goddesses, Shiva, spells, sorcery type stuff. And anything prominent like archaeology.
Roll a perception.
Or I have Avis stuff. I have Avis. And perception, you say?
Yes.
What boons do I have? And we said perception, which 15.
One of the you find two books as like you're kind of like looking through that really kind of grab attention. One is on the Sanctum of Elstand, as like you kind of like reading through it. It mentions the Eye of Avis as being the key to unlock its door to going in.
Oh, I'm pocketing
Uh,
that book so fast.
She's like, I know this. And then another one is the Hunters of Eternity. As you're reading through it real quick, it mentions how this group was essentially demolished by Morgana. So the book's just a bit of history between Morgana and what she had done.
Okay, I'm gonna put that book back, but the other one, oh, that's getting pocketed super fast.
Okay. So anyway, as y'all are kind of like looking through books, Emerald Tiller's waking back up again. You just hear a groggle and his head's turning at this point. Like even as he's waking, his eyes are like completely crossed. Just
Saphira is just sitting next to him with an arm around him at this point, cross-legged, just looking at him.
he's like, if you could actually understand what he was saying, even though he's like completely muffled because of the gag in his mouth, he'd say, "Please don't touch me again."
Emerald's
But
just gonna ignore them, pull out their lyre, and start playing music.
all right. As they're doing this, I take it you there, Fida and Cricket, y'all kind of finish y'all's run around in the room.
Yep, and I'm gonna walk back, hear the music, and I'm gonna walk and dance at the same time. With music. Oh,
So I take it we're
my
heading
way there.
east towards the river. This is 10th, though, by the way.
How far out of town are you wanting to take him?
Depends. I mean, we can always talk to him as we head towards the river.
Part of me wants to see what would happen if he meets this strange individual in the ruins again. He just kind of slowly shifts his gaze to Jonathan.
Jonathan eyes just takes a deep breath, and you just see him just like,
And that face right there is why I'm curious what would happen.
I'll admit you have definitely sparked my interest too.
Well, I mean, there's two ways that we can find out.
Why no? You won.
he just stares at Cricket, just
Saphira's just still looking at him. As I said, two ways we can find out.
Well,
You can tell us,
shall we go
or we
for
can
a
just
walk?
go find out ourselves.
Walk it is.
All right.
What time of day it is currently?
I would say at this point, y'all been there for a while because y'all talked for quite a bit, and you showed like you guys were showing things back and forth. So it's about 9 o'clock, I'd say.
Cool. Head east straight off the property, stay out of town, head right for the ruins.
Okay.
Sound good?
So y'all gonna try and stealthily move out of the town as y'all go east, like kind of getting away from it, making sure no one sees y'all at a distance.
Yes.
Roll stealth.
Assuming most of the people are at the tavern anyway, or home.
Yeah.
We totally
Sure.
get to
I
stealth
give
this
y'all a-
one? Okay.
I'm
Every
going to
single
look
one of
up-
us?
Oh, yes.
No, I have the advantage on stealth check. Twice.
Oh, okay. I will look up at Jonathan being carried by Sphera.
Ooh.
Concussions can be a big issue for recalling information. You can stay awake as long as you don't make any noise.
You just hear just yelling. Are you knocking him out?
Mhm.
Roll a
Don't want to
unarmed
play
strike.
nice. So 19 on stealth.
26
that's
for
good.
A
stealth.
really bad roll. For unarmed, that is a 10.
You get it. He's right out.
I have disadvantage on stealth.
Doesn't want to cooperate.
But I gave you guys advantage.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Cool. So I only have to roll one die.
I don't think y'all heard, but yeah,
That helped a little.
Still
a
20.
little.
By 1, it helped.
Oh dear lord.
Say 14.
16. Nope, I'm reading that wrong. 11.
11. As like you guys are kind of like leaving the town, like off in a distance, you can see some patrons that are heading toward. As you guys are leaving Jonathan Tiller's place, you see some patrons off in the distance heading towards the tavern. They kind of like look at y'all for a brief moment, but that's about it. They don't pay y'all no mind as you guys leave.
Is it dark enough that it's only really silhouettes at this point?
Pretty
Or-
much.
Okay.
It's dark enough it's silhouettes. It's not like they can see that you're carrying a person. It looks like you're just carrying a sack.
Okay.
Stalker
Just
looks
trying to
like
be great.
Santa Claus in the distance.
Pretty much,
Again.
Par for course this entire campaign so far.
right? As you guys like make y'all's way to the river that's east of the town that y'all are at. I thought y'all going all night, or y'all just want to travel for a little bit and then stop.
Probably Emerald would bring up at least getting enough out of town where they won't be an issue and setting up camp there. Also, when we do stop, I'm going to be searching Jonathan.
Okay. So I say you guys walk for good there.
I would say
Emerald?
if that's amenable with the party getting
Yes.
just enough out of town to make a good camp. No sense in hiking all night.
Yes, I'm excited.
As you guys walk for about an hour, you find a decent spot that's a good. It's a decent enough clearing you're able to set up camp. As like Tanithil is just like kind of huffing and puffing a little bit. I think this will be fine right here. As like kind of like leans his rapier up against a tree, and he's just like, "This should be good." Tiller is at this point awake, and he's just kind of like quiet, just staring at the ground.
Cool. I'm going to start by rifling through everything on his person. Rings, pockets, amulets, anything on their person that could possibly be magical, and removing them.
Okay. Pretty much leave this man in nothing but a shirt and skivvies.
I mean,
Do I need
Saphir
to
is just
roll?
ripping his clothes off and handing them to him.
I mean, if you're just taking
Don't-
stuff off and making sure, you don't
Leave
need
his
to roll.
clothes.
Like, if
Hopefully
you're just
you
leaving
said
this-
that before she starts.
Yes.
Like, if you're just
Okay.
leaving this man, like, literally in his underwear and shirt, yeah, no, you're good. No need to roll.
No, leaving him clothes, but removing everything else off his person.
Gotcha.
Do you
All right.
still want me to roll for that?
Nah, you're good.
Okay. Do you want to give me a list of what I removed from them?
So yeah,
I can give that back, maybe?
I was trying to get I'm not gonna lie, I was actually trying to pick up and running for the guys being enforced, but I'll do that in a minute. So
I mean, I'm not gonna know if they're magical or not, so I just need a list of items.
Yeah, you find 2 rings,
Mm-hmm.
an amulet, a bracelet,
Mm-hmm.
and then a coin. Would you actually look at any of this stuff in great detail or just take it off?
In the process of removing it from him, I would be just taking anything I could find, and then look at it when it is not on their person.
The rings, as you take them off and then just as you said, just give them a brief look.
We have also received a party boon. Roll us a d20 there. Trail. Welcome to the show, Trizelta.
7.
A 7. We have advantage on a skill check. Next skill check.
As you're looking through the stuff that you got, the amulet is green and gold. The jewel in the center is of an emerald. Green emerald. The 2 rings, one is red, the other one is blue. The bands of them are silver. And then the bracelet is gold with a bunch of different stones in it, that of rubies, sapphires, and emeralds, just kind of all the way around.
Okay.
The coin has a lamp on one side. One that not a lamp of modern day, where you would pull and it would light, but a lamp.
Okay.
Do I need to be more descriptive, or do you got what
an oil lamp?
I'm going to draw it.
Does it have a moth on the other side that just says "Love Lamp"?
No. It's like this. That kind of lamp.
Oh, like a genie
like
lamp.
a genie lamp.
I didn't want to say genie lamp.
I was like,
I just wanted to say lamp. I didn't want to say genie lamp. I actually don't even know what the proper term for those things are. Because I know they're just lamps, but there's more to it. Always is.
Okay, so coin with a genie lamp on one side.
Yep, and a well on the other.
A kerosene lamp, apparently.
Okay.
As you're stripping him, by the way, he's awake and gagged, and he's just going nuts. Oh, it's an oil lamp. Thank you, Deca.
If he's making any noise, she's just choke holding him tightly.
It's fine, Saphira. Or Stalker, it's fine.
No. The fact that he's struggling means he's not going to stop. And
What's
he needs
gonna
a warning.
His hands and feet are bound. He can't talk.
Oh, but he needs a warning. He needs a warning, because if he attracts any trouble, I'm going to start with one leg, and then the other, and then an arm, and then the other arm. And whether it be noise or trying to escape, he's going to be in more and more pain until he stops.
And so just kind of put his arm or his hand on Stalker and go, I think the fact that he's been knocked out about 6 times does that already. He's probably just more mad
There's
that he's grabbing
always
his
more
stuff.
pain he can feel.
I don't think
don't
he's
like
done
being
enough
fucked
to
with.
really deserve that.
Cricket comes and karate chops Saphira. Stop. Creepy.
It's his choice. I'm
Listen
just
to Cricket.
saying, don't cause trouble for us.
He's probably just mad that you're
So
taking the
violent.
stuff off this person.
I haven't taken anything off of him.
I'm talking about Emerald.
That's not my issue.
Maybe
I'm going
stuff
to
is important.
I'm going to interject here before the threats just keep escalating. Jonathan, I'm taking your things on a to borrow them, only so that we can talk without having to worry about any more of your magical trinkets you've picked up from wherever you've been. You're welcome to them back when we're happy with your information and or when we meet your friend in the ruins. But I have no intent of keeping your things, just preventing you from using them.
I don't know if the gag is still in his mouth or not.
Yep.
It still is?
Right.
He's just quiet, just staring at you.
Cricket's gonna go up and put her ear to his chest to listen to his heartbeat and get very familiar with it.
It's, at this point, rather calm to a certain extent. More just, you can tell there's a flustering beat to it, probably out of, like, slight irritation, but he's relatively calm.
Now, I'm not happy with you attacking us in your home. I mean you no ill will. We just wanted to talk. And that has escalated severely from talking. And I think now might be a good time for you to try and clear the air, because I can't speak for more than myself of I'm not here to hurt you. I just want information.
I can say I'm not here to hurt you unless you cause me trouble.
Her? I'd be worried about.
Anthos is gonna like grab onto Stalker and just be like, "We can relax with the threats.
Just making a point."
Points don't need to be made."
We are a good ways from your town. No one can hear you. I'm going to remove your ball gag and we're going to have a conversation. You're welcome. And I will remove their gag.
Cricket still has
Like-
her ear to her to his chest, listening to the heartbeat.
Like as like the gag comes out, I just, okay. I demand the return of my things and to let me go.
You're in no place to make demands right now. You
We
will
are no
answer
longer-
questions now.
We're no
I've had
longer
enough of
in
you.
your jurisdiction, I believe is the right word.
If I'm not mistaken, in all honesty, the only reason I even actually had my defense attack y'all is that y'all are already starting to be confrontational.
No. We
And
were
if I'm
asking
not mistaken,
questions.
we were asking questions, and you summoned plants to attack us. Or
Yes,
whatever it is
rather
you did there.
aggressively in the end. Y'all were
We
asking
asked
rather aggressively.
questions. We were
You were asking
talking.
rather.
Do you want the gag back? Do you want to go back to sleep? Do you want us to continue on our journey over
I
to
don't
the
think you
river?
know the difference
I'd be
between
happy to
aggressive
continue
and
walking all night to
non-aggressive.
get you there.
No, keep gag off. Cricket's going to be listening to any sort of stutter in his heartbeat if he tries to lie.
It's calm. Roll a perception. by the way.
Anathil over there
Perception.
can cast magic
I have advantage on this.
that does
'cause
damage.
It's still pretty good though. Wait.
Peeta over there can cast magic that does damage. Both of them speak to do this. We weren't hurting you with our words. We were just talking. There's a
23
very
for
clear
perception.
line between forceful and conversation.
You were assuming quite a bit.
We were assuming nothing. We were asking questions. We were asking questions so that we can't assume because we learn the knowledge.
Why scared? Why defense?
Not the one that's causing the issue in the town.
No, it is
And
that
who?
you're holding back on that. And that's where the problem is right now. We want the information to fix this.
His heartbeat is rather steady. It's slightly elevated, but it's steady. It's not fluctuating. I got the Heartstone via a deal.
I thought it was a battle of wits.
It was, at least she thought it was. I took a regular stone, had it morphed into something else, and then I had someone cast a fake enchantment on it to make it appear more valuable than what it was. When I went back to the person, I made a bet stating, or when I got there, I found something more valuable that done the exact same things as her stone did. And she said I didn't have it. And I was like, if I did, may I have her stone? And she was rather sure about this because, in all honesty, I was only gone a day. There's no way I should have been able to have something of sort. And she agreed. As far as she could tell, it was a regular stone, or not a regular stone, but an actual jewel that done the exact same thing the Heartstone did, but even better. It was able to have someone transport themselves to the ethereal plane. But it was a fake.
And why get Hearthstone, not keep Jewel?
I pay someone 25 gold in order to make a fake item. So I can take something that's worth over 1,000. Investment worth it. Just gotta find a buyer.
How much of the items stashed away in your home were acquired through thievery?
I wouldn't consider that thievery.
That's thievery.
I stated that whenever I wouldn't consider it thievery. I would say I withheld information.
Sure.
So you lied.
How much of
You
the
sound like a
items
fairy.
in your collection came from nefarious means? How about that?
Not many.
Fairy?
Not
Yes,
many.
don't make deals with them.
Which items are you referring to?
Emerald will take this moment to just start listing off all of the items from that room that they could see visually.
The staff I won in a game. That one I won fair and square. The orb I stole from a goblin in Linecrest. If the person who says if the person that looked at the orb says what it does is actually what it does, I was going to use it for immortality reasons.
The orb?
The orb, yes. Problem is, in order for it to actually be of use, let's just say you have to talk to a certain being in order to make the actual item work for yourself.
After all him listening to all that stuff, is his heartbeat still steady?
It's steady. He's being honest. Staff I won via a game.
But back to the main topic, you said that you were not the cause of what's affecting the attack.
No.
So who is?
I'm pretty sure the one that I took the Heartstone from.
Describe this woman to me again.
Which form?
What do you mean, which form? Describe them both.
One is of a rather old woman. Almost appears to be ancient.
Fuck. And
You
the
know?
other one was gorgeous?
Yes.
Fuck.
What?
What is it, Stalker?
A hag? She is growling and turning away and stomping around in frustration.
Tanthil, by the way,
You
is
fucked
like
with a hag? Are you stupid?
Tanthil, by the
Barely.
way, is sitting like leaned up against a tree with his head like buried in his hands. Just screaming.
I'm gonna
that's
go
a
over and
hag.
check on Tanithil and see what's going on with him.
Do I know anything of
Oh, the
hags, or
thing
am
is
I
out of
just as
frustration.
confused?
Like
Oh, yeah.
he's in the same boat as Stalker.
Okay.
He knows what it is.
Do I know anything of hags, or am I just confused by these outbursts?
I
Roll
was
a-
also going to both ask that too.
You guys
I
can
have
roll
no
an intelligence check.
I have no idea.
While
That's
they're
it.
on that trail, I do have a question. Has Saphira personally run into one?
Yeah, you have.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify that part.
I have advantage.
I know she knows
Sending
of
you a
them.
message there,
14.
Jew.
Okay.
Sending you that. Sending you there a message there, Juju.
Mm-hmm.
Intelligence would be a 17. with
And I got a
advantage.
14.
One second here, guys.
No problem. Do you think?
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Now, granted, that was a really powerful one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, did you two roll there, Fida and Emerald?
17.
You know what a hag is there, Emerald. Fida?
14.
You've heard tales, but not directly. Cricket, are you wanting to roll as well?
No.
She's like, nah, I'm good.
I don't know.
I don't think I have to like go into evening cap. I don't think I need to go into a description of what a hag is there for you. You can use your actual player knowledge. I don't change the lore for that, so you're good. But yeah, no, he's just like he's shaking his head yes at this point. Like whenever you just kind of like have that outburst, Tanthil's like off sitting on sitting crouched, like head buried in his hands, just upon like hearing this information out of frustration.
What?
Emerald will sit down and start telling Cricket what a hag is, why they shouldn't be trifled with.
I'm going to
incredibly
listen in on
powerful
this.
casters.
Give a description of what a hag is there, Emerald, and what it does.
My brain is currently mush as player.
Oh. Hag
It has
there.
been a week. I cannot come up with a colorful description off the top of my head, but
So,
Emerald is explaining to Cricket.
Old lady, bad, sometimes deceptively beautiful, bad, casts magic, bad. Don't fuck with them, especially if
Bad.
there's more than one. Bad.
Don't fuck with them. Bad.
and goes just like, that can also reside in a coven. I just want to throw that out there. Can be in a coven with more than 3 or 5 or 7 or 10, depending on how they feel.
But you may not be the issue, Jonathan. But something tells
Sure
me you can be part of
started it.
the solution.
Yeah, be the solution.
I'm sure.
Tanthel's actually gonna reach into like the bag and just throw the heartstone out, and it just like tumbles across the ground. He's like, I'm just saying, we can find the spot, we can force him to go inside it, but we don't have to run into this person.
I feel like a third party should be involved to make sure that there isn't any more trickery. But that does not mean we need to accept any coercion from this being. But, Jonathan, as you can see, your Heartstone is with us, and you are with us. It sounds like we have just about what we need to help the town.
I feel like we should just tie it to him and make him walk into the middle of this, where this hag is. And he can just walk in on his own.
It is a magical
We'll just say we're
item.
bringing gifts.
That might not help the town.
Probably not. Hags can be vengeful.
Yes.
That's
Now,
why we bring him.
him coming back on his own may not help the town. I've never tried reasoning with one. Never been in a position of being an unrelated third party. But if we bring him back with the stone, she's going to want both. I can tell you that now.
And why is that an issue?
It's not.
It's not an
The
issue.
question is, will she be willing to leave us alone, and will she be willing to leave the town alone, now that she has her stone back and him? And if not, how do we escape?
Why mad at us? We help.
Hags are greedy, Cricket.
Greedy.
Then we
maniacal.
bring other prize.
What are these other trinkets that he had on him? Jonathan, tell us about these ring and things that were removed from you.
The amulet essentially keeps me from, how should I say, dying. I'd like to say. Just want to throw that out there. The rings each have essentially an enchantment on them that helps. One ring is a protection from evil, essentially. The other one casts Firebolt. I'm not a mage. I don't have magical means. And then the bracelets. It essentially just increases my, how should I say, one's fortitude, makes him stronger.
So they are greedy.
And
Why don't we
the
barter
coin?
with something? Oh yes, the coin.
It's quite an interesting coin. I've not seen one like it before.
I'm going to be honest, I don't know what it does.
Side check. Is he lying?
Roll insight.
Oh shit! I keep pressing on.
Emerald, may I have that amulet for the time being? Just while we have him captive.
That is 24 for insight.
You know
He's telling the
time
truth.
Hmm.
I won the coin in a poker game in Lencrest about a year ago. Guy that had it says he found it in a temple in the Azure Dynasty.
Did
There was
they
one of
say
3.
What kind of temple?
Not entirely. The person said that he was essentially grave robbing, from what he was saying. But there was one of 3 coins. He grabbed one, and as soon as he did, the other 2 disappeared. When he cast the coin inside, it would just appear back in his pocket.
Is this anything I've ever heard of?
Roll history.
And just because I cannot help it, you know the time being.
15.
Time being. What am I?
Who is that?
Stalker requested the amulet for the time being.
Oh, okay. I was like talking about a god or something. I was like, what?
Actually, gain a d6 Bardic Inspiration dice. Can you run through what that does very, very, very quickly? I'm not familiar with Bardic Inspiration at 5.
You can add a d6 to
A skill roll?
a skill check or a attack roll.
I'm going to use one of my Bardic Inspiration boon. Right, and have so a 15, 19.
By the way, there, Fida. The temple that the guy is describing is probably a Lonar temple.
Okay.
Which is god of mischief and fortune.
Sorry, Fida.
Okay.
That's also, you can use it on a saving throw.
The inspiration.
I'll be honest though that the guy never actually told me where the temple was. He just offered the coin in the game, and then he says he won it, and it's just been kind of traveling ever since. He had the coin for about 5 years.
So, Emerald reaches into their pocket. Is the coin still there?
Yeah, coin's still there.
This may just be superstition, but they will fling it to the other side of camp. Does it return to Emerald, or does it return to Jonathan?
It just sits there.
Head over, pick up the coin, put it back in my pocket.
Emerald's like, that was a letdown. I don't know what to think of that.
I'm allowed to be superstitious.
You have a talking skull. It's expected at this point.
Right? If I knew, I'll be honest. If I actually knew in the temple, I'd already took that coin back myself and tossed it into the well. But as a few of y'all know, that the Azure Dynasty is not a stroll down the block. It's quite a ways. By foot, at least.
Why do you never go very far from town?
The curse that's on the town doesn't necessarily not affect me. It does in due time. I got lucky. When she originally cast it, I was inside my house. It's got a protection from evil enchantment on it. I got lucky. But when I do leave, and I leave the actual town, it does begin to take hold. It's just when I get back there, everything is fine. But that's also why I don't usually let anyone come inside. Because
it would be lifted, and they would know.
It would help.
As greedy as the hag.
That reminds me of a joke, but probably not for stream, so I'm just gonna not say that. Sorry, continue.
Tadpill's just like kind of like sitting there. It's like the items I just want to point out could possibly aid us. I just want to throw that out there. But who's really going to want to talk to the hag?
I mean, I'm not opposed to talking with the hag on this. Not exactly happy about it, but
I'm not letting Jonathan talk to it. Let's just say that.
No, absolutely not. I'm sure I've spoken to worse, so I'm not opposed to talking to it.
Considering
Not
your history.
thrilled
No,
with
you
it.
have.
Not thrilled with it, but I would.
I say we go in the morning. Emerald, if you're okay with talking, that works. I will come with you.
Have you ever confronted a hag? Either of you?
Nope.
Read about them.
have I ever
Not in your
encountered
dreams.
a hag? Question mark. God?
I would say that you actually have. You just didn't know. You didn't know till like way later.
I have dealt with one face to face before, and a lot of shifty people through my travels.
And how did it go?
I'm not cursed.
And those around you?
No issues that I've seen or heard of. There have been some weird things in the family, but that was before interacting with the hag, so can't say they had anything to do with that.
Anthil's gonna like kind of like look over towards Emerald and go, so what you're saying, not one of pure evil? Somewhat surprising.
Me? Wow,
I'm talking about the hag.
They're all
They're
different.
evil? Evil?
Most of them.
Apparently, I
They're
figured
all
out the trigger
different.
word for cricket.
They're all different, Cricket, but they're all greedy. They're all dangerous.
Jonathan's gonna like actually pipe up and go, actually, technically the one that I got the stone off of, she wasn't greedy. She actually hadn't left her cave in 10 years.
You fool.
She was more just amused and entertained by the idea. She didn't get
Greed
pissed off.
is not always in the form of the material, you idiot.
I learned my lesson.
No, you didn't. Clearly, the town is still cursed. Fucking idiot. I should rip your tongue out right now and just leave
I'd
you
rather
on
you
your
don't.
doorstep.
I'd rather you not.
We should leave it in his head and watch as he tries to talk his way out of this bag.
Juju got a bane.
Words can hurt.
Yo, Saphir is mad. I
have
have
learned-
a 12, which means I need to roll 2, and Trail gets to choose which one.
I
I
have
thought that was
learned.
one.
I have learned
It might have been a 1.
2 phrases.
One
Fucking
was a
idiot,
one.
and
I
don't
lied.
fuck with them.
Next attack you deal, or you do, does min damage.
So tomorrow we actually talk with her. Who's taking first watch?
Well, before we start watch, I'm going to pull out some silver thread and ritual cast alarm around the campsite, making sure that Jonathan is within it.
Okay.
My bladder is so upset.
Do you want us to go on break so you can
No,
go to
not
the
yet. We're
bathroom?
still good.
No?
Oh, I could wait. I could last.
There's no point in punishing yourself. If you gotta go, we can take a second.
No, we're good. If I concentrate real hard, it'll go away if I don't think about it.
Sure, here.
While Emerald is
No!
utter terrible.
No!
By the way, as Emerald like casts alarm, Fida, like you get like a voice like coming through your head, just
There's two of
letting
them
you know.
given.
Rats.
Giselta joined me.
I'm gonna beat your ass on Friday.
Oh,
Oh
jeez.
my god! But you get a voice
You
there,
up.
Fida, and it just says, as like he's casting alarm, he's like, "Ooh, that's gonna be fun to play with."
I'm going to roll my eyes.
As he's casting alarm, does he
Oh my god, it's
have...
third hydrate.
Oh my god.
god!
Does he
I don't have enough
have...
water.
Does Emerald have Jonathan's amulet on him?
Yes. I would have given it to Stalker when she asked,
Okay.
and very much made a point of borrowing it.
Understood. And she's gonna go over to Fida. Do you mind?
Do I mind what?
Wearing this?
If you insist.
If it helps to prevent you from being killed, all of us can take care of ourselves except you've lost your powers for the most part. Apparently you have some of them again.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out, but,
And while you're
All right.
figuring it out, I'd feel better if you were to wear this. Take care of yourself.
alright.
She's going to put it over her.
Oh, thank you, Stalker.
Who wants first watch? Tactville just kind of pipes in.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. Or
Okay, now we have all three of us taking it. Okay, rock, paper, scissors. Rock, nope. Rock, scissors, parchment.
I believe it's
Boulder,
Parchment,
shears.
Boulder,
Boulder,
parchment, shears.
shears.
it's definitely what it is.
Go.
What am I doing?
Okay? Boulder, parchment, shears.
Okay.
One beats the other.
On the count of three,
We
pick
fight.
one and do it with your hand.
Correct.
Okay.
Parchment beats Boulder. Boulder beats shears, shears beats parchment.
So
Simple
on the
enough.
count of 3,
Pick one.
pick one. 1,
Okay.
2, 3.
Emerald goes first.
Okay.
What the? I win both.
Brought up both of them. Cricket, you only pick one.
You only pick one.
Yeah, one. And there's one. And she opens her beak to the scissors. I win.
Cricket, you get second watch. How about that?
No, it's dark. I get last.
Okay. Oop, I'll take second. Or Fida, would you like second?
Sure, I'll take second.
You take
Well,
second.
you
I'll
could-
take third.
Be on multiple watches, can't you, Tanathil? You're an elf. You don't rest.
I'll
very
take the
well.
last two. I will take the last two.
I'm not saying that we won't take it with you. I'm just saying you'll be
They-
awake.
Meditate.
I will
Yes.
take the last two. With Cricket.
Yes.
Anyway, that's being said, he just kind of like wanders off to like go meditate up against a tree.
And what are we doing about him?
Well, the spell will alert me if anyone leaves this circle.
And he knows what I'll do if he does leave. That works.
Doesn't the alarm also trigger if something comes in there, Otter?
You bet it does.
Okay, just making sure.
Until the spell ends, an alarm alerts you whenever a tiny or larger creature touches or enters the warded area.
Yep.
When you cast the spell, you can designate creatures that won't set off the alarm. You can also choose whether the alarm is mental or audible. This one will be audible. And it alerts me with a ping in my mind as long as I'm within 1 mile of the warded area.
Do, 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 do.
This
Okay.
ping will awaken me if I am sleeping.
Okay.
Oh, like Apple phone alarms. I hate those.
That being said, Emerald, you're taking the first watch, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So Jonathan is just like, I will stay. And he just kind of like rolls over. There's like 4 knots on his head that's just swollen.
Should have cooperated.
So for your first watch there, Emerald, roll a perception.
You got it.
Saphira is just muttering to herself while she tries to fall asleep. Fucking hag. Stupid motherfucker.
That's my last advantage for that. Boop. That is 23.
Is everyone's kind of like gone to sleep for the evening. After about an hour into your watch, you hear off in the distance just this snapping of a branch just off in the distance. After about a couple minutes, it just that snapping moves to the other side and just right off again. And it just keeps doing that over and over in different locations.
More twig snapping.
Yep. What's Emerald doing? I'm curious.
Does it seem that it's coming closer or just staying at distance?
It gets closer, gets at a distance. It's all over the place. It's not consistent. It's just all over the place.
Hey, Burb, you're asleep. Go pee.
I'll keep my wireless headphones on.
What's Emerald doing? I'm curious.
Sorry. Emerald is just going to continue to sit there and watch the woods. They're going to pull out their friend from their bag and just set it on their lap. And just start concentrating on it. Ah! My toe! Come back, Skull! And just, wreath it in that same dark green energy and lightly call out, "If you're here to talk, I'm listening."
No voice. You hear a final and it's like directly like far in front of you. A good 45 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And no voice calls out to you.
Emerald will walk up to the edge of the alarm perimeter towards the direction that last crack came from and repeat, "If you're here to talk, I'm happy to listen."
Pebble just lands right next to you. Nothing.
I'm sure you can use your words if you're going to throw things.
Just another pebble.
Well, must not be that important. And
That's it.
we'll start to back away and head back towards camp.
Okay. The rest of your watch goes smoothly. Nothing. No strange twig snapping or anything at all. Your watch goes unabated. I do believe that's the proper word. After a while, Fido wakes up for her watch.
Sure. Fido will wake up to the smell of incense, but there's no longer any burn. Before my watch was up, I would have repeated what Cricket saw, actually. Sit down, light some incense, talk with the skull for a little bit, and round out my watch. So Fido would wake up to lingering smells of incense in the area.
Fido.
I will go and greet Emerald and ask him if has anything of interest happened.
Something was stepping on twigs all around camp, but didn't seem to want to come any closer.
Keeping. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Get some rest.
Roll perception.
Me or
Oh.
Fido.
okay?
You're going to bed.
I was gonna say that was before I went to bed. Did something happen? Okay, I'm gonna go.
18.
18.
Yep.
Your watch for a while is really calm. Nothing is kind of sounding, or you hear the occasional crickets, but nothing
As
for
in
the
the
first
bug?
hour.
As in the bug?
As the bug.
You muted.
As
Gibbon.
in the bugs, because you just said cricket.
Yeah. I just make noises in my sleep.
Oh. I was meaning actual cricket, like bugs. But
I
the first
have
hour was pretty
clarified.
uneventful.
Otter, that's
But
amazing.
towards that last hour there, Fida, like, as you're just kind of like sitting there chilling, all of a sudden just Tobor just like poofs like directly right in front of you.
I was wondering
Causing
when you would show up.
as he poofs and you say that, he goes, 1 second, like he turns and like just yells, "Wake up!" like towards everybody, and then poofs right back out.
Saphira is immediately up.
Well,
I
the
run
second
over and
they
I-
stepped through, I would have already been awake staring at them.
I didn't
Because
step through,
alarms
though.
were going. He
Yeah.
entered.
He entered.
Okay.
So there's an audible alarm too.
Audible alarm going off for Otter. He just turned and just yelled and woke everybody else up and then poofed out.
Cricket runs over to Jonathan and just punches him.
Oh my god!
Saphira is just giving her a thumbs up when she turns around to look at us.
Like, so
Knocks him out. I just want to not only just knock him out.
I just want to clarify for everybody: no one else saw Tobor except for Emerald, who woke up to him just like turning and screaming and yelling at everybody, and then just poofing out.
We need this person for trade, Deca. They can't die yet.
Oh my god! At some point, just gotta kill the person.
Saphira's just like, good job, Cricket.
Anethil is just like instantly like up, and it's like, okay, one, I was not done meditating. Two, the hell, just staring at
No.
Fida. Friend, go deal with him. Go deal. Just pointing at
Okay.
you. Just go deal with him. Go
Okay.
deal with him.
Deal with who?
What?
Don't worry about it. And I just
Don't
walk
worry
off.
about
Friend?
it.
Just stay here.
Friend?
Our-
I'll be
Friend?
back.
Feed a friend?
Yes, friend. Just stay here.
No.
Stay here.
Okay. She's going to stealthily follow her.
Emerald, out of
She has a good
curiosity,
distance,
got
but
any
she'll follow.
questions?
And I'm
Emerald, are
stomping
you
off.
wondering what's going on?
I have questions, but not for right now. Fida's
Not for
already
right-
storming off into the woods.
And I'm going to stealthily follow.
I'm going to.
Roll a stealth.
Yeah.
How long does alarm last?
21.
hours? Okay. Just making sure I don't have to go reset it up because
Yeah.
someone triggered it. Okay.
I don't think it ends when it's triggered.
Do you have like a reset on it or anything like that? To make it
Pulls out
stop
remote.
alarming? Snooze button on it type thing, or
Roll
Yeah.
a perception there,
Yeah,
Gary.
hold on. Let me turn off the alarm.
Reception.
Button on skull.
18.
Okay. Remember those two numbers.
As the dad of the group of out of
So,
control
like,
kids, I get a boon.
As a beautiful.
Thank you,
As like you go
Leslie.
off in the woods, Cricket kind of like stealthily follows behind. You don't make it too far into the woods before Tobor just like bamps like right in front of you, and he's like, "Oh no, momento!"
In front of who?
In front of
Okay.
in front of Fida, which you see like the puff of smoke, but then he just and lands behind Cricket. Cricket, all you hear is like, "Sorry, private conversation." Before like just instant knockout. Just Cricket's like, well, alrighty then. Which at this point, Tobor bamps right back in front of you there, Fida.
Meanwhile,
that's where we're gonna take a break.
Saphira's back at camp, just like, Cricket's going with her. She says it's a friend. They'll be fine.
And that's where we're going to take a break. We'll be back in about 10 minutes with more Varinheim.
See you guys in a minute.
See you in a bit. Hello then. Welcome back. All right. That being said, Cricket, you're knocked out. Pretend to be asleep.
I don't know what to do.
Fida as you just hear like Cricket's body just like in the ground.
Squawk! Oh shit!
you hear like Tobor just right in front of you. It's just like
Work
took
this
care of that.
time, I see.
Just not enough. We can guarantee that. Anyway, I hope they didn't mind that wake up. In all honesty, like he just like as he says, he's like kind of like wanders off and goes sits on a
I
boulder
take it
that's kind of like off in the
subtlety
distance.
is not your strong suit.
I like to have fun. It's not fun being boring.
Fair.
He just like as he says this, like he just kind of like grabs like a pebble and just like kind of like starts tossing it up in the air, and he's like, "So, did you think about what I said?"
I have been thinking quite a bit about what we spoke of last.
Is it yes or no?
That is a good question. I want to understand something.
Go ahead.
In your jumping around and being your mischievous self, you
Hey.
mentioned in passing something about this book that I found that had all sorts of rituals in it.
Oh, are you talking about the one that with the it talks about the spells that are essentially like, in a sense, theoretical.
Yes, that one.
What about it?
I'm curious to know what you meant. You made a comment and poof, gone again.
Simple. It could be of use.
But no actual, like, straightforward answer. See?
Okay, if I'm straightforward with you all the time, you never figure anything else out on your own.
I don't know. I think we've come pretty far so far with its current situation figuring things out.
Let me ask you this.
Mhm.
The incantation that I left for you in the note, did you do it?
Oh, did I ever? Much to the shock of the same group you just woke up.
And you do realize that we have not made the pact, correct?
I do, and I have been playing around a little bit, trying to figure out exactly what that is. I remember my father showing me, or casting some things, and I tried a little bit of that out, and seems I have a talent very similar to his.
So that being said, why do you think I mentioned the book?
See, that's why I'm curious.
You don't necessarily need me to be able to cast magic.
No, not for that.
No.
There is a sense of greater power with all of what Shiva had,
Like I stated,
I assume begrudgingly granted me before.
begrudgingly, whether, in all honesty, if you knew that you actually had the ability to cast magic beforehand, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have made the deal to begin with. Correct?
No, I most likely would have been killed in that tomb.
Like I was saying, though, you're able to cast magic, which means you really don't believe me, and I have to accept that. But I do offer the help of finding and getting your family.
Mhm.
In exchange, you help me become Tobor the Eighth Hell instead of the Seventh. So, as I said,
What I do
Do we have a
ask,
deal?
what I do ask on top of that is more help learning as much as I can with spells.
As like you say this, like he just kind of like throws up a hand and the contract kind of like forms, and he just got like essentially like what he just stated. I, Tobor, be patron of Theta in exchange with for abilities, and he's just like, if that is all, consider it a deal. And like as like he says this, like he just kind of quill kind of forms and
Oh, I don't even have to sign in blood,
kind
do
of
I? I get to sign in ink.
levitates. Why would I have you sign in blood?
Seems thematically appropriate. Not with everything else that has gone on.
Demons, angels, and all the things that made things rather, how should I say, cliche.
Oh, I agree.
So you're gonna sign?
I think I will. No, I am curious about things like extending one's life.
Immortality?
I don't know
Say it
about
would be done.
immortality, but extending one's life.
Just want to live longer?
Substantially longer, but not immortal.
You may
I think
want
you
to.
would- I'd like to look more into that. I feel like you would be able to help me learn more about that. To make an educated decision.
You may want to sit on that educated decision.
Mm-hmm. I'm tired of rushing into things.
Tanithal's not even here.
It's not you.
Dang.
It's not you.
Oh, he does know what he did.
He still knows. Oh my god.
I will let them know.
Can someone roll a Bane for Tanithil?
Sure, I got you.
Okay.
2.
I recommend that you sit on that educated decision.
I'd like to learn more before I even make a decision. I just would like to learn as much as I can about this.
I think that's what I mean by when I say sit on that decision.
Mhm.
Find
We
out.
didn't change the wording.
And I'm going to sign.
As like you kind of like take the quill, you do have like a little bit of splintering going on in your fingers, and as like you kind of begin to write, it's red, and you just begin to smell iron. And it's like, okay, I lied. Yes, a little bit.
There's
of
the
blood.
blood.
Yeah, no one likes it. It just needs to be done.
So much about cliches.
I'm everything but I'm not a cliche when it comes to everything else, but except for this. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Cliche demon would have killed everybody else and been like, "Hey, take me as yours." Let's be honest. Me, I like to go a little bit more. Let's mess with everybody and have a bit of a laugh. Minus your friend; she's currently in the grass. As like you're kind of like writing out your name, like he's saying all this, and as like you finish, the contract actually begins to just give off a red aura, and it just gets brighter and brighter until the point like you're actually having to like shield your eyes because it's so bright. And Tobor is just kind of like looking at it, smiling, just kind of like rubbing his chin. And as the aura just begins to like kind of like pulsate, just like disappears. Everybody in camp, by the way, you guys could actually see that aura, that light off in the distance. It was that bright.
Did we not go back to sleep?
Yeah, I was going to say, except we all went back to sleep.
Have you ever stared at the sun with your eyes closed?
Okay.
It still
what you're
shines
saying.
through your eyelids.
Depends if you're conscious or not, whether you recognize it. But yes.
You're not that. You haven't been
Our
able to go to sleep
dreams
yet.
suddenly get really bright and red.
Right.
Yeah, it even depends if you have eyelids.
It is daylight on the ground.
Oh my. As the contract disappears, Tobor is just kind of like standing. One arm's kind of like crossed, the other one's just kind of like rubbish. And it's like, you're my first.
I
This
see.
is a new feeling. So this is what it's like to have power, to a certain extent. What shall I do with this?
You can start
Means
by
that-
helping me get the bird back to the camp.
I will deal with the bird, and like he just kind of like bamps over to Cricket and picks Cricket up. Is Emerald awake? Kind of.
Kind of like trying to get back to sleep.
Okay. He just
You're not sleeping.
bamps. He just bamps right back into the camp, which I'm pretty sure alarm is still going.
Emerald sits back up.
He just like hands you Cricket and then just drops her like in your lap and just like, this is yours. And he just poof, bamps back out.
Eye twitching. Vein bulging in forehead.
Tobor does not come back, by the way, Fida.
I'm just gonna walk back to camp. Like nothing happened.
Are you dialing
Except-
something in your skull? Beep 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 boop boop boop.
Turning off
I already
the
say
alarm.
like Cricket is like in Emerald's lap when like Fida comes back. He's just staring at Fida like,
Emerald
I want
is
to
turning
sleep.
off the alarm spell, which is ding.
And rearming it.
And Emerald, like an upset parent, is just sitting there waiting in camp, just like,
Good morning to you two. I see Cricket's
So-
back here. Let's get her tucked in and back.
it's
Where she should
you
sleep.
Damn it, chat. Emerald just kind of move Cricket to the ground. So who's your friend?
Better question. Is he coming back to set off the alarm again?
Shouldn't be. But I make no promises.
Of course.
I can't speak on behalf of him at all. I'm gonna go and sit down and continue my watch.
Go to sleep.
will-
It's almost time for my watch anyway.
I'll wait for.
I'm gonna sit there then for a while and just comprehend everything that happened.
what were you gonna say, Emerald?
Say if Fida's gonna stay up for the rest of her watch, I'll wait till Stalker nods back off. And just kinda. You never answered my question.
I'm going to cast Prestidigitation and get all the dirt off of my...
Who's your friend?
Mischievous one by the looks of it. But good for his word. So I don't know if you
Emerald's
remember.
just gonna kind of stare real hard until Fida starts talking again.
Do we have a campfire going in the camp?
Yeah, there's a campfire. Yeah, I'd say so.
So I am going to cast Control Flames on it
Okay.
3 times so that I can maintain parts of like a little scene. And I'm going to recreate the scene from the temple when I first met Shiva.
Okay.
Because now I can actually do interesting stuff.
Okay.
When everything happened, this is what it looked like, Emerald. It seems I have taken after my father a little more than I realized, and I have a little bit of sorceress origin within me. I didn't know that I could that I had this. It has never presented itself before. I can only assume that it was with my interactions with Shiva that it awoke this or whatever. It only became noticeable when Shiva took her powers away from me. The being who has been bouncing around, causing all of this mayhem in camp, his name is Tobor. He's a demon of the seventh hell. I've made a new deal with him. I'm just going to keep going through that entire situation, like keep the control flames just going and cycling back to the same scene over and over and over again.
Okay.
And you're okay with this deal?
In a word, yes. I'm a little leery about it, but I sense no ill will from him. With Shiva, it was apparent immediately. She has not been... she was very power-hungry and sought to just destroy. With Tobar, he seems to be more lighthearted and, I guess, mischievous. In a word, bordering, like, with enjoying chaos and trickery, but not malicious. He will help me to get my family back. He will tell me where they are.
And what does this mischievous one want in return?
Nothing with the mortal world. Nothing with us. I am to help him a little bit. He wishes to become Tobor of the eighth hell, instead of just the seventh.
DM question.
Yo.
Between my studies, religious, and travel, what do I know of the hells?
So you know that there's 9 that
Do
are
I need
most
to roll
prominent.
any form of history for this?
Yeah, I'd say roll history.
Okay.
I mean, don't you get advantage on this?
I do have advantage on this, and thank God I did, because one was a 3. The other's a 15 plus 2, so 17.
The 9 hells are part of essentially a plane of existence where there's a number of infinite hells. but the 9 are the most prominent. Each of the 9 hells battles from control over the other. Ninth one, though, being kind of in charge of them all. To move up, usually to the 8th hell, or to the 9th hell, or how be it, the controller of said hell, so take for example like Tobor, at least this is what legend has stated, has to present a champion to fight that next hell. So say Tobor decides to put a champion forward to become Tobor of the 8th hell. Legend has it Ayana would probably have to kill the leader of the 8th hell. But that's complete legend, and from the books that you know, sometimes things get really thrown out of like stretch.
Okay.
But if Tobor's only want to go from 7th to 8th, and he's saying he's not interested in the material plane, most likely he's telling the truth from your history that you know. Demons from the hells do not care in this material plane. It's not worth it. Not to them, at least. They're yeah, go ahead.
As long as you're okay.
Think I will be, Emerald?
Emerald's going to continue their dance stare for about 3 seconds, lay down and roll over and go to sleep.
You've accepted it.
This is the point of the game where a little pop-up comes up and Emerald will remember this.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The rest of the shift goes without interruptions until Stalker and Tanithil get up for their shift. As like Tanithil's like kind of like coming out of his trance, he just kind of like turns to Fida and he's like, "I hope your talk went well."
How long did...
I hope so too.
How long since Tobor coming in with Cricket was remaining in her watch?
Well, about 45 minutes at most.
Okay.
As like Tanithil's like getting up to kind of like take part in his watch, he just kind of like turns to you there, Feed, and he's just like, "I don't think he necessarily had to wake everybody up. Just throw that
Oh,
out there."
I agree completely with you on that.
I just hope you know, no eggs for you.
This is a change from what?
I was going to give you.
Does Tanner
Morning,
have a staff
Stalker.
with him?
Nope. Like he just kind of like turns to
Am
Stalker.
I aware of
"Morning."
where the staff is?
I think maybe next. No, wait. I think it's actually back in the town. No, he would still have it.
Carries that one with him.
Yeah, he carries that. He has it.
Yeah, because he was showing it to Jonathan, like, I have an egg staff.
That's true.
True. But yeah, no, he just turns to Stalker. It's like, "Morning, Stalker."
Mhm.
Roll perception for your for your shift there, Stalker.
That's a 16, 15.
Okay. If only you were a rogue.
Yes.
Well,
Then
no,
you
no,
can
no.
be
That is not how you spell rogue. That is rouge. That is French for red.
But you
Yeah.
could be a thiefling.
If
Oh my
only I
God.
was a red.
If only you were
That
red,
is
you
what
could
it
be a
said.
tiefling.
I'll take the boon, though.
Y'all's watch Stalker goes by, no issues. No noise, just the bugs going off in the evening. After a while, Cricket gets up for her watch. with a very sore neck.
You okay, Cricket? Positive?
Cricket, if you don't mind me asking, what happened?
She just looks at Vita, concerned.
He put her to sleep.
You're awake?
When did she wake up? Is this like I'm confused?
It's
here.
her shift. It's like 2 hours
okay.
later.
Okay, my mistake.
I'm looking at your sleeping body, concerned.
Okay.
I know what happened. Tanthil just like, she's not an elf. She'll be okay. I take a stalker, you go back to sleep.
Oh, yeah. Changeover. Yes.
Roll perception. There. Cricket.
Hold on. I don't know what that rolled. No, I lost the roll. I have to sorry. It went way behind my mic. It popped out. Okay.
Eh.
What is that? Wrong tab. Keep open the roll 21. 12 plus 5. 17. Right? Yeah.
Your watch, like stalkers, goes by quick with no interruptions. Nothing out of the ordinary occurs. Jonathan Tiller stays asleep for his shift. Tanthil just reads his book.
He's just going to border around, not outside DOR, just kind of close to the group, looking out to the woods.
Trying to see if Tobor's still out there or just watching.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's watching.
As you watch, sun begins to rise. As it does, Tanthil begins like packing his stuff up because it's about that time. First one, I would say the first two up is going to be Jonathan and Fida. I take everybody else, though, shortly gets up as well.
Emerald sleeps in just a little bit because of all of the being woken up through the evening.
Right.
Vera just
Tanthil's
looks a little tired from that, but she's not a morning person per se, but she's the kind of person that once she gets up, she's up. She is awake quickly.
And you'll see Cricket standing in the pathway of, or in the direction of where she went when she followed Fida and got darked out, and just looking out there.
Gotcha. After a while, I would say that Emerald, you wake up about an hour and a half after everybody else. Get that extra sleep. As Emerald wakes up, Tanthil's like, we can get everything else packed and get a move on. If y'all are interested.
Spirit did some exercises while he was still sleeping. As
Gotcha.
per normal.
Morning, everyone.
Sleep well? Ish. Good.
Ah! Oh my god! Oh my goodness.
That was not a good stretch.
Oh no.
Oh.
Don't do that.
Don't hurt yourself.
You're gonna have to
It's
stretch
supposed
again
to be
get
a
that.
good stretch.
You're gonna have
You
to stretch
stretched
again just
and
to
my back
work
was
that
like-
out.
Ow. Okay, yeah.
That-
I need a.
You're not supposed to stretch that way.
It's because of all the banes I have as DM.
You're carrying a lot of weight with that, are you?
Just a wee bit. Thanks, wise guy.
Well, it was at least a interesting evening.
Yeah, you could say that as like Tethel just turned and looks at Vita. No, I'm good. Thanks, wise guy. Don't need any more.
So,
Seems we have a bit of a hike ahead of us today.
about this, how you
many-
got 2 Banes, Trail?
That would be 2.
Jonathan is
anything.
the only immediate NPC. Does that mean you're giving them to him?
Giving her to Tanithel. Aaron's not here.
He technically is an NPC at the moment.
Can someone roll me 2 Banes? Otter, do it for me.
Aw.
I got you. 2 Banes.
Oh man. Oh no.
I rolled a 1 and an 8.
So the one you got to roll 2 more.
Yep, so for the 8, I need to roll a d3. For the next 1 turn, his attack rolls are reduced by 1. And for the 1, I roll 2, and the DM picks 1 of them. We rolled another 1, so roll again. It's another 1.
Oh my god.
That's another 1. We're using another die.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was
Get those
4
out of that dice
ones
now.
in a row.
Oh my
Brutal.
god.
Okay, so
Oh, shit.
you have a choice of you have disadvantage on the next skill check, or you have disadvantage on the next saving
Saving throw.
throw. Okay.
Anyway, that being said, Tanithel just goes, I think that the trek from how far we're looking is about 6 hours. I said we get started so we don't take all day.
Yes. She's gonna pack up the tent quickly. Nope. We don't have the tent. It's back in town.
Mhm.
Yep. Y'all slept on the ground.
Yep.
Well, you can
Um,
pack up Jonathan, Stalker, and we should be on our way.
Oh, absolutely.
I can walk. Just
No,
wanna
you
throw that
can't.
out there.
I'm gonna.
I have legs.
And they're not gonna be unbound. Lift.
I can.
To interject here, I'm gonna pick up the Hearthstone that's, as far as I know, is still on the ground where it was tossed.
If they would have
true.
grabbed that, I just want to point that out there.
It would have been
Okay.
picked back up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of, if I'm going to be the one talking with this entity, I should probably have that with me, Tanithel.
He just reaches into a bag and hands it to you. He's like, there you go. And y'all begin the trek to the cavern system. It's got the rooms inside.
To Grandma's house.
And
When-
Cricket's
Grandma's house we go. You guys
Cricket's
travel
staring
for-
at Fida a good bit. Like all the time, just staring at her.
Do I notice this?
I would say you would.
Yes, Cricket. Are you all right? He put you to sleep. I had him bring you back to the camp.
Just tilts her head, floofs up a bit, and relaxes. Private conversation.
Yes.
Friend.
Friend. He knows where my family is. And he will help me find them.
Only feed a friend.
He has no interest in this world. Mischievous, playful, not mean.
Hmm.
He has had a chance to kill several of you now, and he doesn't. He has no interest in that. He just wanted to be able to speak to me. In private. And the only way to do that is if someone's there, put them to sleep, is what he saw. That was why I asked you to stay at.
Treasure chest, sorry.
Priorities there.
I saw it and I was like,
Priorities. Just like, gotta press it.
And I usually never
Squirrel.
catch them. Hmm.
But are you
Evil?
alright?
No trust. Yet.
Understandable. He's not given much reason to trust. It's also made it very difficult for everyone to sleep.
Why Fida?
I made a deal with him.
Why Fida?
Why me? Or why did I make a deal?
You? Why Fida? Not Stalker. Not Thanatil. Not Emerald. You know.
Here's I have some inherent magic. With what Shiva did, it woke it within me. And well, now he has asked for my help. And in return, he will help me find my family.
In Inferno, she says Tiefling ancestry. And then back in common. Yes?
An infernal answer, possibly. But I am unsure.
You know Shiva. You know Shiva.
He know about Shiva. I don't know if he knows Shiva. But he definitely knew about her. As he did mention before.
All right. He made fire?
No, I made fire. Which fire?
Days ago.
No. He left me a note, and on that note was the incantation for a spell. One called Scorching Ray. And he suggested I try reading it. So I did, and I was able to cast it. And that is how I figured out that I seem to have picked up some, or have some sorcerer's capability. I can cast magic, even without a deal.
Deal?
Like the powers that Shiva had given me.
Fida.
I can cast without a deal. I can cast some. But I did agree with him. I will help him with when he asks me for help once later. And he will help me get my family back.
Does he want your help with?
Improving his rank.
Gilveth?
Hmm?
Like Gilveth?
Like of
He
the
is-
bloody hells.
Mm-hmm. He is Tobor of the 7th Hell. He wishes to be Tobor of the 8th.
Do I know that, like, the Nine Hills trail?
Roll intelligence.
Oh, what is that stat? 22.
Yeah, you know.
What does that mean? How does he go about doing that?
Does that intelligence check include knowing that how that, or just knowing the Nine Hills?
How one actually becomes leader of the next hell is left to myth. Where I just told Otter, it's one way. For you, it's a complete another. For you, it's a battle of between two armies, in your understanding.
From my understanding.
Yeah.
Neat. Hard task. You sure?
Yes, I am.
Large battle. Very large, Vida.
And I will deal with that one when I get to it. First, though, we need to deal with this. I'm going to point to Jonathan.
Actually, yeah, it's like you kind of like point to Jonathan, like you guys actually are making it to the Riverline coast, and
Saphira.
y'all see the Cape. Oh, good.
Hopefully carrying them face forward so we can ask for directions.
Right.
She contemplates for a second. Looking at Jonathan, looking at the ground. Pretends to drop him. And then gently sets him down. Walks over to Fida.
Roll a
Leaps. Strength.
You know what? Roll a dex.
All right.
That's what I was thinking.
Is that a check or a save?
Check.
Check.
Check. 14.
Yeah, you catch him. I was like, roll a 10.
Either way, I'm happy. She kind of chuckles at him.
Like he just like kind of like freezes. He's just like,
just kidding.
but
So-
y'all are standing in. Oh, God.
How close are we, Jonathan?
Like you guys are actually like standing in front of a like next to a cavern system. He's just like, would you be surprised if I said the one that we're next to?
More specifically, how far into the caverns is she?
No more than about 400 yards.
Saphira leans down to Fida's ear and whispers in a voice not quiet enough that she's trying to hide it from anyone, but quiet enough to emphasize that this is heavily directed at her. You all haven't earned a large amount of trust from me yet. But you're building a bit, and I have no reason yet for you to not continue building. If you've built enough, and I know that you are all trustworthy, but when the time comes, I will help you. I will help you to promote him and help you to get your family back. You only need to ask. And when she straightens back up, she looks... The entire time we've been walking, the entire time since finding out about the hag, she's been extremely on edge. Ears have been perked up, like, wolves and other creatures with ears of the same style. Their ears focus towards the direction of what they're focusing on. That's how she's been this whole time. She looks, for a moment when she straightens back up, a bit downtrodden. Ears are flattened out a little. After a moment, she straightens back up, picks him up, and ready to go.
Yeah, they'll just kind of like looks to Emerald as like, hate to say it, you have to lead the way to a certain extent.
I think this is my cue. Stalker, if you will, I think Jonathan should walk from here.
Wait, no, you go alone?
He's not going alone. We're going in with him.
Before we
I
go
go in to speak with the hag alone.
Danger.
Well,
No.
You do not want to be alone.
Jonathan
will
kind
take
of pipe.
All of us to try and escape if things turn sour.
stay
Jonathan's
close
There's a
by.
chance we won't.
Stay close by. I've dealt with a hag before. The less people directly in conversation, the better.
All right.
I could put
No more
bracelet
than
on.
100 feet.
I can seal.
You can what?
Wyatt. She takes one of her bracelets, circle bracelets, and slips it over her beak so it keeps it closed.
Emerald takes a deep breath. I don't like the situation any more than the rest of us, but I at least have some direct history speaking with the hag. Stay close. Just don't come into the room with us when we speak.
If things turn sour.
Keep Jonathan close. If things turn south,
Whistle. Like
that'll
before.
work. If things turn south, I will whistle.
If things turn south, then we are better off fighting. I warn you. Do not hold back.
Okay, he's like,
I
And
have
if we are
seen a
better
hag
off,
in a conflict. We do not want any of that smoke.
I am aware. But if we need to get out, do not stop. Do not stop for a long while. I have fought one as well. We lost 6 of 10 people against one hag.
Talking is our best bet, and the foot we should lead with. We have something she wants. Hopefully we can turn that into a good situation for all involved. we shouldn't have more people than necessary in that room. So,
And she
for now,
will gag Jonathan again
let
and
him walk.
untie his legs.
Keep a close eye on him in the cave, and I will call for them when needed. He shouldn't come into the chamber until a deal has been made.
She's gonna tie the rope from his legs around the rope that's binding his arms and hand the other end to Emerald.
Well, I guess we go in.
But before he goes in, what is it? Yeah. Okay. All right. Yes. I'm gonna give you one of my amethyst bracelets. Slip that on. So, good luck.
Thank you. Hopefully I won't need any extra luck here. And Emerald will start walking / pulling Jonathan along towards the cave.
So are you going in quietly, or are you just kind of like just pulling them along?
I'm not trying to be stealthful about our approach. If this is indeed a hag, she's known we were coming from quite a ways out. At least that's what my past tells me.
Roll a perception.
21.
As you guys enter this cave, it's musky smelling. You hear the echo of water dripping, and just like the water and it just ripples through. You occasionally hear a rock every now and then just kind of like move and fall. And as you're walking along this path, it starts out rather wide and then narrows and then gets wide again. But as it gets wide again, you see that a ledge forms, and you can see that it drops off pretty far, probably about I would say 100-foot drop. And as like you step, you notice real quick that the ledge that you're stepping on is kind of beginning to give way. And as you kind of pull your foot back, it kind of crumbles off, and you have to get closer to the wall to just kind of move along. You eventually come up to a pathway. It goes left and right, just kind of veers.
Emerald just looks back to Jonathan.
Jonathan just kind of nods his head in the path to the right. Roll another perception.
Not as good. 16.
As you guys continue y'all's descent into this cavern system, a voice kind of begins to call out to a certain extent. But it's not a normal voice. It sounds almost as if there's three, but talking as one. And the voice is just kind of goes, "Someone has entered forbidden territory." And as like you guys continue, that voice just kind of continues. I don't know if you heard that, by the way, Otter.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of continues for a while. The twists and turns of the cavern almost get dauntingly confusing, but Jonathan stays the course with you, kind of points you in the right direction. After a while, though, the cavern system makes a, and as it does, it just opens up, and you begin seeing what appears to be torches along the walls. The far end is this crippled old woman with black, greasy hair that just kind of falls to the front. Her clothes are tattered. Her hands are curled. And she's just kind of like looking in your direction. Her eyes are a icy blue. Her skin is abnormally gray. And as you kind of just round the corner, she just kind of turns her head and just, I wasn't expecting company today. As she talks, you could hear the sounds of three voices, it seems.
At this, Emerald just holds their hand up to the party and to Jonathan and does a hand symbol of like, hold here. And Emerald will walk into the room.
What? Who are you? Who do you think you are to just come into my home? She just begins to kind of like walk closer. You can
Emerald
kind
will
of hear
kind
her
of
feet
stop.
just dragging.
Emerald will kind of stop a step or two into the cave, take a couple steps back. May I enter?
The hag kind of stops in mid-track. You
Forgive my manners. It was rude of me to intrude. May I enter and speak?
You already entered. In a manner of speaking. What brings you here? And she begins to kind of like get low and just kind of like have her head turned and just looks at you.
Well, before I exhibit further bad manners, and I do apologize, may I enter? I believe we can be of benefit to one another.
What manner?
Emerald will kind of awkwardly take a couple steps into the cave. I believe you were tricked by a fellow who was here about 5 years ago.
Upon hearing this, like her head just kind of like jolts as she like looks and her voice begins talking. But you notice that her voice is no longer of three, but of two. And she was tricked. And as like she says this, a voice appears behind you. You'll see this another hag just kind of form behind Emerald.
Saphira is just like,
And the hag just goes, yes, tricked. I'm curious as to what and how you know about this.
If I have permission to sit and talk with, I think the three of you? I think
As like you say this, the other hag that appeared upon you just kind of like touches like your right shoulder and just kind of like leans over and she's like, ah, one is well known, sis. This man is not as unintelligent as one might think. It's like you just kind of like her hands are just gently like moving across over your shoulder into the other side. It's just kind of like as she talks, her breath is just kind of like hitting the back of your neck. And the other hag in the distance, just like, if that be the case, and like you just see her face just morph into two, and then like the bodies separate.
Mitosis. My toe sisters. Also, Cricket has her sketchbook out, and she is sketching a very realistic drawing
Right?
of them.
I'm just gonna roll a d12 for psychic damage that hurt.
I know. A stress damage. Oh god.
As she kind
So
of
there's
all three appear.
one in front of me, one behind me, and one like in my space. Is that how
One
this
is like holding on to you, like basically like one hand is here, the other one is like down in your diaphragm. It's just kind of like just rubbing and just whispering in your ear,
space.
all up in your space.
It's
Okay.
like the scene from Yes Man where he couldn't say no to that old lady.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay.
The
so,
other two though have begun to like kind of like get closer and begin like circling you and begin talking. So,
Yep.
luck for two of us?
Oh, right. Because the price changed.
Yeah, with the price difference. That's two of us there, wise guy.
we know what he did. So, you want to talk about a Jonathan Tiller?
Oh, there's the other two. Okay. Either way, I appreciate the luck. I am stressed. Okay. Yes, Jonathan Tiller.
Go on. Are you accustomed to silence or you will speak?
No, but some reverence in a situation like this is usually a good idea. I've been walking all day. May we sit and talk? I don't mean to be disrespectful. I have short legs.
I will sit as like the hag like kind of like gets right in front of you, like just a couple feet away and sits. My sisters will keep you company. It's like one begins kind of like just rubbing on your shoulder as the other one gets to the other side, doing the exact same thing. Otter's like, I hate this.
Oh. DM, did you have that name for me?
The one that
The one I've dealt with in the past.
Yeah, I messaged it to you.
Did you? Aha! Okay, beautiful. It didn't ping me in Discord, so I was like, I never got it. Okay. I am the adulteress, Zelda. I need a more adulty adult. Oh. Well, in looking into some strange going-ons in the town of Creighton, which I'm sure you're already familiar, there seems to be some kind of magic or curse affecting the area.
You're talking about the town of Colden and its inhabitants.
That
As she says this, like
absolutely
one of the hags is like on your shoulder, is just like kind of like rubbing your shoulder and just goes, "Oh, that Elijah, one so sweet."
Elijah?
Yeah, the one that's in charge of the tavern.
Yes, okay.
The
yes,
young
yes,
one.
Yes. Yep.
What about it?
Elijah needs some more instruction on running a tavern, but very nice fella. Looking further into their lapse of memory, our search led us to a Jonathan Tiller. And
We know of him.
that led us to uncovering information about a stolen item from you that is in his care. Did that have anything to do with the magic now affecting the town?
You talking about the item that he decided to just, how should I say,
Stole would be a good word.
stole? Yes.
Deceit, stole.
He deceived us. Myrtle. With this, and like as she does, she like just grabs the stone that he used and pulls it back to her and just throws it at your feet. This stone, and like as she does, like this black aura just instantly begins to form, and it just begins to like darken the entire room. The two hags that were like rubbing your shoulder just begin to like firmly press on your body. This stone that he decided to trick Myrtle with. What about it?
And at this, Emerald is kind of visibly uncomfortable being pushed on all sides. Sisters, I'm here to try and help. There's no need to show all of this force.
Oh, is one of your stature going to help?
I come hopefully offering a trade if you three are in fact the ones that are enchanting the town.
What is it that you have to offer?
Your stolen item and Jonathan Tiller.
Like as you say, like stolen item, the one in front of you, just her eyes go big. Her teeth, sharp teeth, just kind of like begin to show in anger. As the other two's their nails like instantly kind of like start digging into your shoulder. Roll D4 there, Otter.
3.
Take 3 piercing. As like their
I'm okay
fingernails
with
are
that.
begin digging into your shoulder.
I'm okay with that.
What are you talking about? Dwarf.
I realize that. Again, my manners escaped me. I haven't talked with someone of your stature in a while. Kind of brought me back a little bit. My name is Emerald. And by your talking to each other, one of you is Myrtle?
We are Myrtle.
Myrtle. Okay. Well, I am Emerald. Myrtle. Whole thought process just went out the window looking at chat. Whew. Okay. If I can bring you this item and person, do with them as you will. The item is yours, and the person rightfully wronged you. Does that have to continue to bleed into the town with the items returned and the person responsible for it in your care?
It depends. What guarantee that you can get said item?
I can absolutely guarantee the said item. And Emerald will go into their bag and hold up the Heartstone. The item
Just
has
instantly just
already
instantly reaches for it.
pulls it back. I'm
That is
offering.
mine.
It is. I am freely offering it to you, along with Jonathan Tiller. I'm not trying to keep it from you. I'm just asking that the town be.
Your soul allow me to take possession of Jonathan Tiller at will.
One more time?
But your soul is willing to barter the man for the town, his life for everyone else.
I believe he already made that agreement when he screwed over 3 powerful women such as yourself. I'm simply bringing him to you. Why
So
should the entire town pay for his foolishness?
I get my Heartstone, and Jonathan Tiller, in exchange, I lift the curse on the town of Colden.
Is
that...
That's all I'm hoping for. Super side note, sisters. Are you by chance familiar with a Lorraine branch leg?
Maybe. Emerald. You will not be the one that she befriended, are you?
I knew Lorraine for a good while.
Yes, Gibbon.
Sorry. How far away are they? Like Cricket's view?
Not super far.
You guys are about 100 feet behind Emerald, and you can see 2 hags like basically holding on to Emerald, while one is like in front, sitting, talking.
Okay. Can I read their lips?
Roll a perception.
Because I have the observant feet. $21.
I would say you're able to make a couple things out.
Okay. I don't know if there's like a distance to that. It just says if you can see a creature's mouth while it is speaking a language you understand, you can interpret their words by reading their lips. So it just didn't say distance, so I'm like, how
Essentially,
How?
we're close enough to see the movement of the lips.
Yeah, so
under
like, okay.
What were we gonna say though, Emil?
Before Emerald would have asked of Elaine, he would have switched to Leonin and simply asked, "Can you understand me?"
We understand many languages.
So, any of the statements about Lorraine would have, if you could hear, is
Would have been in
growling.
Leonin. Yeah,
Yes.
growling.
But Lorraine helped me a great deal during a hard time of my life and was of great insight. She is a powerful caster and holds much knowledge. I have great respect for those of your profession.
Owner for the Hearthstone. And Jonathan Tiller. That's all correct.
I offer the stone and the man
And the curse
Phoenix.
lifted.
in exchange for the town being set free.
You get what you wish. As like she says this, like she snaps her fingers. And just a black light just through the cave and just exits. And that's where we're ended for today.
Yeah. Holy shit.
So uncomfortable!
Holy shit.
Oh yes.
Otter, with your uncomfortable state, will you close us out?
Sure. Just quick question. Did I have to roll a persuasion for any of that?
No, I like, you know me. I actually like listening and talking when it comes to stuff. When it comes to rolling, no.
Well, there can be
You
all the
role
persuasion,
played it good.
but
I mean-
it is persuasion.
Like, you would have to get, like, advantage plus 10 because you got the two things they want. Like, cool. If you want to roll something, go ahead and roll. Roll a persuasion with advantage plus 10.
I 100% am asking simply because I have one left of gain proficiency or double current proficiency on skill check, and I really wanted to use it on persuasion.
Just to see what craziness came out.
Right?
So, persuasion is a lot. That's 18 plus 7 plus 2.
27.
So 27.
Dang. Easily would have had it.
Also, we can't close out yet because I still got a party appreciation.
You did.
You got a party appreciation?
Yeah,
She
wait,
got it
wait.
before the break from Wise Guy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So before we close out,
Ah!
break it.
Okay. Dang it, wise guy. I'm not good at these. I had to do it Wednesday and felt so awkward. Okay, so I'm gonna start. And Aaron's not even here. What the heck? But
Yeah,
okay,
skip him.
No, give him
Yeah.
some love. He'll see it
I
when he
will.
watches.
If he
Alright.
watches, if not, then he will never know.
Yeah,
So for
exactly.
Aaron, who plays Tanathil, oh, kind of wish I wish he's here. Really, he's such a joy to play with, and I've watching him with his experience
like so much experience when it comes to role playing, especially as nobles and all the talking bits. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I just sit here like, all right, take over. um, he's so skilled in so many things. It makes me mad, but like in a friendly mad where it just pushes me as well, and I get inspired off of him so much, and also a little intimidated at the same time. But I wish he's here to play with us because it's just not the same without a goofball of an egg-eating wizard. And nerd. He's such a nerd.
Let me-
Around the
Let
We
me
love
pause you
him
before you move on.
nonetheless.
Trail, I have to know. Did you know that the box behind you says eggs on it?
Yeah,
I know.
I know.
Good.
I
It comes
pointed
from
at it as
Piggly
like,
Wiggly.
eggs.
But
Eggs.
sadly,
Aaron was informed.
Sadly, Aaron is in a bi-weekly Sunday campaign, so he is in and out with us. But we do love having him when he's here.
I know.
That we do.
I know. Dang it. I keep sending him so many banes, wise guy. Also, okay, let's move on. Alright, Emerald or other. I already targeted you Wednesday because I also got hit with a freaking party appreciation, but
Two
you
more Banes for 10, Phil.
God. Good. Yes. Otter, I'm gonna say it again, and I'll keep on saying it. You are you are pretty much like my best friend. I can't I can't take it when I'm around you. You're such a butt and a rascal and so sweet and considerate and so welcoming and warm and hilarious and clever. And I'll fight you. I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna fight you when I meet you. It's gonna be glorious. A battle so legendary. Not even the airport security guards can't stop this at all. Like total
Another.
takedown WWE, jumping off of like the freaking luggage turnabout thingy. I'm just gonna wow instantly. You won't even know. And getting to play a game with you, especially this one again, is so great. And being in other games with you is so great. You're so much fun to play with, and your characters are so interesting, especially about other games too. You always have great ideas, and you just have like a list of terrifying monstrosities you bring to games. So don't kill him in any game, or he'll
I
bring
have
something
what?
worse. Monstrosities. So if you die, you have something worse.
We
Just
don't
a
speak
warning.
of my backup characters here.
Just a warning to other DMs out there. Don't kill off Otter's character. God.
Unless you're Breck, because the three-eyed monster doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna be hard
And
to top
then-
Omi in that one.
Mm-hmm. And then for Fida or Ayaner, yeah. Oh my gosh. Your character, I cannot wait to interact more with her on things that you don't get to know yet. And I love seeing the sass with your character because it's you. It's you. It's you. That sass goes beyond the character. I've seen it. I hate to be on the other end of it. My God, you are like what are they called? A hailstorm. Hailstorm. What are they called? Hailstorm.
Maelstrom.
Hailstorm. Thank you.
Hailstorm's banned.
It is badass. Hey,
Big
she's
fan of them.
badass. She's badass as well. Listen, and I'm so glad I get to play a game with you. I've already expressed that to you. That holy shit, it's just a pleasure to get to see you branch out with this game, and you're like, it's like you've been playing forever, and it's so creative. Your role play it just is so smooth, and other than that, I'm so glad that we're playing other than D&D, other games together again. I miss you. Yee. And then you. Yee. And then you. Bad Juju. Bad Jojo.
That's
my
Yeah, Jojo.
Two
So,
O's. It's an ooh.
but it bothers you, so ooh.
I know.
So, you playing Saphira or Stalker, you've had this character for so long as one of your OCs. So, I know you get all nervous because you want to make sure that you play up to the level of expectations and that high pedestal you put them on. You have this whole vision for them. You get pretty insecure if you will not be able to measure up to that. And you're doing great. That worry, you don't, it shouldn't be there because you are doing so great playing as her. And everything you do is like, yeah, does she would do that. Oh yeah, she would definitely say that. Yeah. That's Saphira. Like, she's a part of you. She's made from you. So you're
The
doing
many
great.
facets of JoJo.
Yeah, she's the protective alpha of the pack. Make sure that everyone stays together and is protected. And that's also kind of part of your personality as well. You get pretty passionate and very hard-headed on one thing, and that's not from Trail.
It's passionate. Know this for a
Very
fact.
passionate, very protective. And that's what I love about you, because you've stood up for me, you stood up for others all the time. I'm pretty sure if you were in person with a person, like, whoever hurt someone, you would probably fight them for people. 100%. And keep being the big bad guard dog of the group. You're the alpha of the pack.
Okay.
A wise guy. Calling you out now.
You getting
You
thrown
little
in.
shit. So, Ayana gave us a warning about you. Like, just prepare yourselves. She told someone from Gilbert's too that she just met randomly and got to know and became friends with is coming to watch. And I didn't really know what was about to happen. And I am so happy that she brought you over because you are so much fun. You are adorable to talk to and voice chat. You are also just hilarious. And you're my colorful brother. And we're gonna blind people with our rainbowness. And you're gonna, boons and banes and boots and banes and boots and banes everyone into the ground. We had to change things because of you, you dang turd.
Also, I just want to point out the amount of party appreciations that just got flooded into chat.
It looks like we're just doing a
Oh, boy.
quick bit of love.
Uh-oh.
Since I guess I was called out next, I'll make this quick.
Yeah.
I'm not going to appreciate you on a personal level because I love all of you and could talk way too much on that facet.
I know.
So we're just going to stick with characters. We'll start with Trail.
Aw.
Trail, this entire campaign just decidedly became streamed within a matter of 16 hours. And
30 minutes for me.
I'm so happy that you decided to take Dire Bear up on their offer to come join us and share your game with our channel. It has truly been a pleasure to sit here and watch you get your sea legs and watch your world unfurl in front of us. It's truly been great to watch you find your comfort zone and just start having a ball with whatever you're throwing in front of us. I can't wait to see where this world takes us and what other crazy things you're going to put us through. But I'm enjoying it, and I'm enjoying seeing you fall into a little bit more comfort running the games and just having fun with it.
Been having fun with you guys too.
And honestly, I am so happy you brought crisp and bacon back.
Yep, bacon.
Crisp and
Brought
bacon.
neat. I brought
And-
neat neck
and
back
also-
too. Good, good.
I know.
Yo.
I was freaking out, and I was like,
Given and I were just like,
"Mm."
but
Yeah.
we'll find out later on about that.
Yep.
And
Trucking quickly through this. Ayana, Fida. You brought to us a very complicated character. And me as a player knows some of it because you workshopped some of it with us. There's a lot of it we don't know. I love that you brought this crazy complicated character into this game because it's bringing a lot of fun RP, and we're learning more about your character and seeing all these different sides to Fida as they're kind of figuring their way through it all. I'm very much enjoying it and look forward to hopefully not helping you with taking over a layer of hell, but we'll see when we get there. Question mark? Eh?
Sylvia and we'll both know.
Oh. Given. Cricket. Our little chaos gremlin. What can I say about Cricket other than surprisingly super observant of the group and an ever-present watchful eye, but also a collector of anything within grabby hands distance. We don't really know a whole lot about Cricket yet, and I'm curious, but my god, is Cricket just like a weird mirror of Given?
yes.
Yeah.
Jojo. Stalker, Saphira, whatever the hell your name is. Stalker currently. Saphira is definitely not of this plane, and I still am dying over the fact of the first meeting of Stalker is just picturing a door-to-door salesman about the woods. Excuse me, have you heard of these woods? Okay, excuse me, have you heard of these woods? And just the polarizing sides of that, just super inquisitive, wants to learn, to over-intimidating a poor fellow who's like half-conscious about breaking all of their legs. Stalker is fun to play with, and interesting to watch interact with the world. I hope we find your woods, but until then, please continue to be a door-to-door salesman about these woods, because I am dying. Okay, Jojo, it's up to you.
Yep. Before my memory forgets what I had planned for a couple of y'all. Trail.
Get out.
You probably haven't seen this yet, but I already put it in Varinheim chat.
What?
Trail has run a few campaigns for Otter, Given, and I, and a couple others. And one of them was called Arcania. And we had other characters that also ran into a hag there, and this was only his second campaign running for us. His first D&D one. The other one was a Star Wars.
Yeah.
And seeing the way he played the hags tonight, it wasn't bad before in Arcania, but you can tell the difference that experience and comfort brings to both players and DMs, and he has a lot more experience at this point in time than he did then. And the difference is beautiful. I love it.
Not gonna lie, I wish we were in person sitting down. Otter, I hope you would have not minded, but I would have been up at close and personal space.
Even
As
That would
long
be
as
better.
you weren't,
Even-
as long as you
yes.
weren't doing what those hags were doing, that'd be fine. 'Cause that was fucking uncomfortable.
That was. Mm,
That it worked. I was
I
even
loved
uncomfortable.
it.
It wasn't even happening to me, and I was like, "Oh no!"
Yes. Yes.
Glad y'all enjoyed it.
I could picture it so well. And
I got another chest.
don't stop improving. Oh, I do too.
Cute.
Everyone's like, priorities, chest, click.
Under claws.
Don't stop
Squirrel.
improving because I love your improvement. You just keep getting better. And that's how DMs like Cap and Matt Mercer and Breck and all the other DMs who have been doing this for 30 plus years, this is how they're born. They start somewhere, and like you, they just keep improving.
So soon you'll give birth to your new self.
It's like molting. You just keep getting better.
You
and
just keep
shedding
giving
the
birth to
shell.
Trail. You just keep giving birth.
That went
God,
from
it's
really
so
wholesome
grateful.
to really disturbing in like half
Right.
a second.
Right?
Burb, you know, I do worry about how well I play the characters. The girls and myself, not so much about myself because I am me.
I
But yeah.
I hope.
do 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 do. And the desire and worry to play them the way that they should be, fitting of their personalities, only strengthened because I expect it not only of myself to have them correct, but it's not just me I want to satisfy with their personality, it's you as well. Because you are probably the only person I've ever met who is probably more attached to the girls than I am. And that's saying something, considering I've had all three of them for over a decade. And you have added so much to them, and I just love it. My sister started with helping me create them. Her unfortunately deceased soulmate helped even more, and they became what you met, and over the last few years, you have improved them even more. And they just keep evolving the same way Trail does. And the perspectives you bring and the creativity you bring to them is... I could not ask for more.
No. You got them.
Otter,
Yeah.
you butt.
But
I knew what I was bringing when I did that to you. Not sorry. Did it anyway. I'm so glad to be playing in a game with you again. Because I don't know what it is. Your character always ends up the father of the group. In some way, shape, or form. Saphira is not even that rambunctious, but control is definitely required sometimes.
Not super rambunctious, my ass.
you're an otter. You're not
Yeah.
an otter.
And as great and mysterious as your characters are, they're always beautiful and always somehow end up in the father figure role of, why are you coming back at 1 a.m.? I set a curfew of 12.
Been a
So
lot.
What you
where
been doing?
have you been? Sitting in a chair in the corner of the room, just light pops on when you walk in the door.
Alarm
So-
skull wakes you up when they walk in the door. Where you been? Iona, we ended up not in communication for a year or
2
two?
years.
2 years. Because of some stuff in Guild Wars 2 that you were a bystander in for the most part, and I was kind of a bystander in, kind of not really there for all of it. That's kind of how we both were, but you reached back out to us and you reconnected, and I'm so glad you did because it's been a blast. And I am a person who falls out of communication with people because I'm not social. I don't talk to people. And you made the effort to reach back out. And the reason I have a sister and 2 brothers that are called such, even though we are not blood related, is because they did the same thing. They wouldn't let me fade away with my lack of socialness. And you've reached out in the same way that they did. And pulled us back together. And I couldn't ask for more. Thank you for that.
Well, thank you. It definitely wasn't easy, but absolutely worth it.
Mm-hmm. And Tanithil, Aaron knows what he did.
Oh, he does. He knows what he did.
We're gonna get Tanithil to put Fita back on the egg list. It'll take time, but I love that he has an egg list, and I can't wait for him to find some crazy wand of ridiculousness. It's gonna be so
need to make sure my
fantastic.
life is the same length as his. I will get it back.
I forgot our goodest boy, Tanithil.
Yeah. I
My
almost
dude.
did.
Real quick, I love that you just brought us the most absolutely enthusiastic cinnamon bun for this campaign. And the fact that this cinnamon bun is also a blade dancer is just amazing. I cannot wait to see where you go with this and who gains or loses egg privileges as we continue through this campaign.
He currently wants to know why he's got like 5 more Banes, even though he's not here.
He knows what he did. That is the answer. He knows what he
knows
did.
what he did. That's it.
Okay.
Direct quote.
That's all he gets
He
to
knows what he did. Even
Well, I
Waska
guess-
agrees.
I guess that leaves Ayana and Trail. Who would like to go next?
Oh man.
I'll go. Well, I guess let's start with Tanithil. He knows what he did. Does he deserve Banes? Absolutely. Is it fun to watch him deal with them? Oh, yes. He brings so much experience to D&D, like any campaign that he is part of, because he's been playing for forever. Both he and I started playing back in 3.5 edition, so you get to have some really wacky conversations about all stuff D&D with him, and it is quite entertaining just hearing like the shenanigans that he comes up with or that he has run in the past. Always good conversation with it.
He's very fun to workshop ideas with.
There's a lot of crazy stuff that happens, and I thrive on those conversations. They are a blast. So getting to actually play in a campaign with him, even better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep this kind of short because I did one of these last session or the session before, and focus more like on characters. Let's bounce over to Trail. Trail. It is so cool getting to see how you progress as a DM from session to session. Like, I went back to some of the early sessions, and just as we've developed this campaign so far, the progress is astounding, and it is so much fun seeing as you bring all of these new characters and all of these new voices, new interactions to us to work with. Like, it has been an absolute blast. It has been so much fun getting to work with you through developing character and just bouncing things off of you and really creating these ridiculous shenanigans. On the offset of that one, it has been a lot of fun to be able to help you on the other side with the chaos that I introduced to this campaign by building that Boon and Bane, helping build that table for you, because I knew what I did.
You know what you did. Why is
Go on.
Iona got like 5 banes?
Because I brought this.
I'm glad
And
you
I
enjoyed
brought
it.
this and I unleashed it. If there's ever anything, because it's like I haven't worked with you a whole lot in D&D and I know everyone else has. If there's ever anything that comes up that I can improve on, please come and talk to me. I'd be happy to learn. Because everyone else here has had a chance to work with you a lot more. I haven't. So I want to be the best that I can in here. So always let me know.
Wants to be the very
What
best.
I'm here for.
No.
Because this
Wants
is
to be
a
best.
lot of fun and I love this process. Given cricket. Oh my god. I love our interactions. They are so much fun. It's always fun seeing seeing just how observant your character is while trying to work through the language stuff that happens between my character being foreigner and your character being a Kenku that mimics everything. These are hilarious interactions and I thrive on them. It is so much fun being able to bring this, as Otter said, this really complicated character that I've got here to life through these interactions, and I adore our interactions. They are so much fun. You are without a doubt keeper of the shinies.
Oh, yay.
Please finder of the shinies.
Mm-hmm.
And I look forward to seeing just where things go with all of our shenanigans. Otter, I love that you have a skull as a prop for this campaign. It is amazing.
I had to. It fit
Of
the
course.
character too well.
I'd have been disappointed if you didn't, because it is too good. You were absolutely right about the character art having spoilers in it. I was able to figure it out finally. Once I finally started looking into Bard, and it's so much fun seeing how you have tied these classes together and what we're building towards with your character. Everything that we learn is always fascinating.
Just wait till you find out what kind of cleric they
I've purposely not been looking into it because I want to be surprised by it. The Bard I had to though.
Mm-hmm. I haven't given you enough information to guess the cleric one yet.
Yeah, I'm just purposely not
So many
looking at
options.
anything cleric right now because yeah. It is really funny having you as basically the dad of the group. It was hilarious even just tonight having you with the alarm just like waiting there. What's that about? Every campaign needs to have something like that, and I'm glad you're in that role and not one of the rest of us because I don't think we could do it. But it's great to see to see how your character is developing because you've been particularly quiet about how about your character in specific, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what you've done with it and where
It's
this
fun
goes.
to workshop character things with people, but it is so much more fun to just drop information on them in game and watch them try and figure out what's going on.
In the future,
It's been really hard not to tell you anything about my character out of game, but it's always fun watching what happens when I do bring something in.
Absolutely. Looking forward to seeing what you do next. Alright. How was I going to say that? Alright, Stalkira. We're just sticking the
Stalkira.
names together. You're done.
Shakira. Like Shakira.
You
Y'all
was
are
Kira,
close.
Yeah,
Y'all are close to getting a
Shakira,
first
Shakira.
name.
Yeah.
I was
I
making
was
my
gonna
own
say, I
now.
was going to say like Shakira.
That look.
Amazing.
He's like, y'all are dead.
Shakira.
Oh,
Whoa.
exactly.
mean,
Hannah, no, I
baby,
was
when you talk
It's
like
not
that.
the only pet name she's been given. Kyoru has Kyoyo, Saphira has Safi Taffy, Arden has Ardenski. They've all had pet names before.
Stalkira.
All right, Stalkira. This character is really the first character in the campaign who really put any trust into Fida after the first 2 sessions where I wasn't sure if she was going to get killed off by the party, and I'm really glad that that was there as a almost like an olive branch to be able to continue on, because it's a really complicated character to play, and I am really thankful that I have the avenues to be able to develop this character, and that was so helpful for being able to start that. It is a blast getting to play alongside of Stalkira. It's done. It's canon now. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy the character design. Prior to this, I'd never really even looked into furbolgs, so it was really neat learning about them, because I'm learning about the character class as you're playing your character. So as I'm learning about your character, I'm learning all sorts of cool stuff I've never even looked at.
Furbolgs have some crazy lore.
Oh, yep. I had never even looked into them prior to this, and it's been fascinating to just learn. The character design is absolutely awesome, and having seen the character Saphira in several different games, it's been neat seeing the particular adaptations to D&D that have happened here. So I'm looking forward to seeing just really the development about everyone's characters and how we all interact together in this like crazy world that we've all been dropped into. So, yeah, thanks you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Keep being awesome.
Oh, no, you.
And now, for our storyteller, the DM, give us some words.
I will admit, when it comes to these, I have difficult times. Don't hate me. Don't judge. No judge.
No, it's
I'm the
We all
same.
You
do.
you can say something kind about the people. You can say something
So-
about their characters. However you want
It's
to go
true.
about
It
it.
can be character
Yeah.
or person.
When it to the person who's not here, we know who that is.
You know what
And
you did.
You know what you did. That being said, Aaron is an absolute joy when it comes to him when he's here. He's the one that kind of puts me on my toes when it comes to just knowing the game. So I always have to like think, okay, what workaround are you about to pull? What's some shenanigans that you're about to do that I just did not see coming? It's always a blast having Aaron. Given
What?
your characters are always adorable, and I hate you for that.
Always, though? Are you sure?
You haven't seen Spleen or Pagan.
All the ones that I've got to like take part in
Okay.
being a part of. Zim, Cricket, even
Right,
looking back,
Haiti.
Haiti.
Ugh.
Even looking back, Haiti.
In her own way.
So all characters, even Voos.
Listen.
Still love
was
Voos. Your
first
characters
character
are
ever
always
made.
great. Otter. I missed you. Last campaign was like, yeah, we had fun, but there was definitely a missing element, and that element was you. Like, we missed you. It's nice having you back there, man. We really did. It's nice having like Juju said, the father of the group. It's great.
Someone needs to be a dad to these chaos gremlins.
Right?
She
Ayana.
might be good
That's gonna
or neutral, but she's definitely chaotic.
right. Ayana. Yeah, I don't know about anybody else, but definitely Fida and Emerald are the mother and father of the group. Fida just kind of like keeping a tab on Cricket is hilarious.
Say more like an older sister.
I always saw the mother figure, okay?
I see the sister. Don't worry, I got you.
She's like, I got
The
it.
aunt over on the side.
She's
Big sister
definitely an
Vida.
elder sister taking place of mother.
Right? I will say,
Big sister Vida.
I will also say, it's nice having a character that like made me have to like think fast, because all your stuff, everyone else, where I could actually like take my time and think things through. Iona's is like, all my shit's happening at level 3. Deal with it. And I'm like, but we're starting at level 3. Yeah, so deal with it.
It's happening.
It's happening. So it's made me learn how to like pace things properly to a certain extent and think quick on my feet when it's like, okay, didn't see that coming. I got this.
And
So
you're getting better at that.
I appreciate it. It's helped.
I'm glad it has.
Juju, you are my friend.
You are friend.
That is all.
Good night, everyone.
Like, here's the thing. Okay, so, like, I'm just saying, Juju, you're always gonna have it like that special place, just because, like, first time I met you was right after Hurricane Michael. No place to go, and you were like, "Yeah, come stay at my house." Didn't even meet you. I think that was the first time we met. That was hell. That was like we just really started talking and in hot. That meant a lot.
Was that before
And-
the guild meetup?
It was before the guild meetup because I stayed at your place for
That's
6
right,
weeks.
it was right before it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we went from here to the meetup.
Yep, it meant a lot. Still does. I enjoy playing D&D with you because it's fun bouncing things off, and I never have to worry about you coming into the game knowing stuff is coming. You're just like, I got you, don't worry. And you can tell me, be like, Trail, no, that idea is stupid, don't do that. Or, no, that's great, run with it. And I appreciate that a lot. I just want you to know that. You're awesome.
No you.
Love you too, man. That being said, though,
I think that's back
We could-
onto me then.
wait, what?
For
Announcements.
announcements.
Yes. I was like, we have
Okay.
another one?
No.
Wait,
I do
I can
have
fix that.
another one.
Surprise! Aaron shows up all of a sudden.
Don't you dare, Trail. Don't you dare.
Don't do it, wise guy.
Save
It's
it for
past
next
Trail's
week.
bedtime.
All
And
right.
turn into a pumpkin.
Announcements
So-
to their honor.
Before I get into announcements, wise guy, you. Thank you for just kind of
Yeah.
thanks for joining in, kind of out of the blue, just because Ayana brought up we were playing a D&D game. It has been a pleasure to have you join us and enjoy the campaigns. Even all of the chaos. I love it. It's absolutely fantastic. Ayana threatened you. Well, thank you, Ayana, for
Yeah.
threatening Wise Guy, because they're
Yeah,
great
what,
to
with a
have in
good
chat.
time?
But no,
I
truly,
promised shenanigans and mayhem, and I delivered.
but truly, thank you. It's always nice to see a new face in chat, and I'm glad you've been enjoying the games and continue to come back to do so.
Mm-hmm.
And for all of our viewers, thank you for sticking in with us for a quick love sesh here at the end with a whole bunch of appreciation. I know we're a bit over time. So, make sure to come back and join us tomorrow. Season 3 of The Troubleshooters picks back up tomorrow for Cap's game.
Holy crap.
It should
Cool.
be a real interesting time. I'm curious to see where that goes. Tuesday, we're back with another episode of A World at War, which is a 2nd edition Scions game run by Jason. Wednesday, we're back for another night of Falskallen Nights, ran by JT. Thursday, we're back with Maddie's 5th edition game of A Knight's Ransom in her homebrew world. Fridays, we have nothing running on Dire Bear, but Given and myself are still participating over on Precarious' channel for a mature-themed horror campaign. So, if you like spooky, scary, gory goodness and are of sound mind to do so, come check it out. It's a time.
There's even sound effects.
There's even sound effects. Saturdays, we have a Stolen Cities ran by Alex. And Sundays, we'll be back here with you for another episode of Varinheim, where Emerald is very uncomfortable again next week when we pick up.
We're all uncomfortable with that.
I picked up a name.
And very thankful it's not us.
Yeah, and now y'all get to be real curious because the whole back end of this conversation has sounded like growls. Haha.
I got a name.
Which name?
Before you switched.
But that being said, good night, everybody.
Good night.